Hello, and welcome back to the Quarantine Theater Company. Tonight, we're going to be doing a really fun read, Charlie's Angels. Not the shitty new version, and nope, not the original 70s delight, the great, magnificent 90s version with an amazing cast. Tonight, we have a lovely cast joining us as well, doing all the heavy lifting with all the words. We've got Jen doing our scene description. Our beloved Bosley this evening is going to be George himself. Woo-hoo. He practically is our Bosley. I'm going to say that. Um, Tonight, playing Natalie is going to be Nicole. Yay. And being our Alex is going to be a Bridget. Welcome. I'm going to be doing Dylan. And Logan is going to be our Sam Rockwell, Eric Knox tonight. Hoping for the little dance. Yeah. We've got Johnny joining us as Charlie, and also the Thin Man. And Mary's going to be joining us as both Corwin and Vivian Wu. And last and certainly the least, I'm kidding. We've got Travis. Travis is going to be, no, we love Travis so much. Travis is going to be Jason this evening. So without further ado, take us away.
Charlie's Angels by Ed Solomon and John August. Current revisions by Zach Penn. Fade in. Exterior, the big blue sky. Day. A Virgin Air 747 bursts through the clouds and levels off. Interior Virgin Air 747 day. We move through the first class cabin. It's the regular mix of first class people. Old money in Gucci enjoying freshly baked cookies, a millionaire in jeans and a t-shirt, business people relaxing after a tough day, and a very nervous man. Shifty-eyed, alone in an aisle seat, the emergency row. We hold on him for a moment, but not for too long. Then we continue moving into the coach section. Stopping at the lavatory, the occupied sign switches to vacant, and James Earl Jones, or actually a James Earl Jones type, who, for ease of description, we'll simply refer to as James Earl Jones, steps out of the restroom in full African regalia, multicolored dashiki, mufti. It's a hat. The works. He heads up the aisle towards the first class cabin where he is stopped by a...
I'm sorry, sir. This cabin is restricted to first class.
Mr. Jones now removes a first class ticket.
Is this what you're looking for?
She looks at it, a little confused as to why he's just handing it to her now, but then she nods as he passes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Please, is there anything I can get you?
Scotch. Blended. Straight.
He continues into the first class cabin and towards the first class emergency room where he slides in past the nervous, shifty-eyed man. His name is Pascal, and sits by the window. After a moment, Pascal quietly clears his throat and leans slightly towards Jones.
They say birds can't fly this high.
They say only angels can.
Now Pascal nods, nervously begins to remove something from his pocket when they are interrupted by...
Shall I pour you scotch?
No. I'll take the bottle. Thank you.
She hands him the airplane-sized goblet of wine, apparently. We love props. He waves off the glass. She shrugs, leaving. Pascal resumes what he was doing. Slowly, he removes a roll of certs. He looks to Jones. Well, what about your end of the bargain? From within his dashiki, Jones pulls out a black velvet pouch. He hands it to Pascal, who opens it to find diamonds. A hell of a lot of diamonds. Pascal smiles. He hands the roll of certs to Jones. It's not breath candy at all, but a tiny roll of explosives with a tiny high-tech triggering mechanism.
C5. The most dangerous explosive material ever invented. Hard to believe that this little contraption can blow up 10 city blocks.
Careful with it, huh?
Both men smile. Pascal's very relieved that the deal is done. Then suddenly, the lights blink out. Pascal looks around, nervous, but it's just the in-flight movie beginning. Clouds and a woman holding a torch. Columbia Pictures presents David Spade and Adam Sandler in Bosom Buddies, the movie. James Earl Jones shakes his head and rolls his eyes.
Another movie for an old TV show.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Walk out.
It's very funny.
But James Earl Jones is dead serious.
No, it isn't.
Jones grabs Pascal in a headlock and turns toward the back of the plane, shouting,
Everyone, fasten your seatbelts.
Now Jones does the unthinkable. Holding Pascal tight, he yanks open the emergency door release. With a rush, the cabin decompresses. Panic erupts as air, paper, and everything not belted in screams out of the open door, including, exterior the big blue sky, falling away from the 747 day, James Earl Jones still holding Pascal in a bear hug. They plummet, wind violently tearing at them. Pascal's frantic screams Doppler quite nicely, dropping with them. They continue to fall, gaining speed. Pascal is terrified, but Jones doesn't seem worried. In fact, yes, he does look like Monterey Jack. That James Pascal, he's silly little weasel. Anyway, casually he glances at his watch and then looks far below them across the sky at the tiny black speck gradually growing larger in the distance. Closer on that black speck, it's a jet helicopter. Its door opens and now a skydiver leaps out, helmet down, arms back, streaking across the sky in aerodynamic perfection, heading directly towards Jones and Pascal, who are still plummeting towards the earth at terminal velocity. Jones begins to let go of Pascal, who screams and tries to clutch onto him, desperate.
Pull yourself together. We have company.
What?
Suddenly, whomp! The skydiver spread eagles, stopping the wild dive directly behind Pascal and immediately binds his arms and straps a parachute on him. All three are still free-falling. James Earl Jones nods at the skydiver who, even under the helmet and goggles, is clearly a beautiful woman. Meet Alexandra Alex Monday, one of Charlie's Angels. She's a sultry bombshell. Yeah, she is. A classic femme fatale, only she's playing for the good guys. She gives James Earl Jones a wink, then jerks Pascal's ripcord and whoomp! Pascal's chute deploys. He flies upward, leaving Alex and James Earl Jones both still falling. Below, the ocean screams up at them. Not much time left. James Earl Jones pulls his belt and his mufti flies up. It's actually a tiny drogue chute, deploying his entire dashiki. His outfit hides a parachute rig. Alex pulls her own ripcord and whoomp! Her chute unfurls, and now Alex and James Earl Jones gently float towards exterior the big blue sea day. A cigarette boat floats through the choppy water, a gorgeous young woman expertly throttling up the growling V8. Say hello to Natalie Thompson, Charlie's second angel. At a glance, she's the brainy, shy girl next door. But put her behind the wheel of any vehicle and she's unstoppable. Natalie glances ahead, maneuvering the boat perfectly under Alex, who drops on deck. Alex gathers her chute, then whips off her helmet to give her cascading mane a wild shake. Here comes James Earl Jones. Natalie guns the boat underneath. A perfect catch. Alex helps him up with his dashiki chute, and then all three look up. Here comes Pascal. Natalie whips the boat around, catching him as he helplessly drops into the seats, still bound, still scared out of his wits. He gapes wild-eyed at the two angels, then whirls on James Earl Jones.
You crazy bastard!
I think you mean crazy bitch.
With that, James Earl Jones reaches up and pulls his face off. Latex rips free and standing there without his dashiki. James Earl Jones has a great figure. Is stunningly beautiful Dylan Sanders, angel number 3. She's the wild one. Yeah, girl. She whip her hair back and forth. Pascal's jaw drops as Dylan shakes her hair free, then reaches in her mouth.
Don't need this anymore.
And extracts a voice-modifying chip.
But I sure could use this.
And she pulls from her pocket the airplane-sized bottle of Johnny Walker Black. She twists it open and downs it.
Damn, I hate to fly.
Cheers, girl. Exterior beach dock day. Now men and FBI windbreakers haul Pascal away, and two of them carefully handling the cert's explosive. A harmless fellow pushes his way past them and onto the dock. It's John Bosley, Charlie's lieutenant. He reaches the boat, which Natalie ties off while Alex and Dylan neatly fold their parachutes.
Well, Angels, the experimental explosives are back in the hands of the government, and the free world can breathe just a little bit easier tonight thanks to you three.
Alex, Natalie, and Dylan stroll from the dock onto the sand, each starting to unzip, unbutton, unsnap their action gear, and hand it to Bosley as they continue walking.
And thanks, you too, Boz.
We couldn't have redirected the flight path without your help.
Bosley puffs, proud. He speaks over the ever-growing pile of chutes, bodysuits, goggles, the dashiki.
Nothing a little teamwork can't do. At least that's what Charlie's always telling us, right, ladies?
Charlie will be joining us, won't he?
He sends his regrets, but he wanted you to know that dinner is on him, so feel free to celebrate.
By now, the Angels have stripped off all of their equipment, revealing eye-popping evening gowns.
If it's on Charlie, we will.
Yes. The Angels share a laugh as they arrive in their sassy duds at a private beach club where a waiter greets them with a tray of champagne flutes. They each take a glass, turn to each other, and raise them. Another Angels mystery case closed. Yes, sassy duds. Freeze frame and the title sequence begins!
Once upon a time.
3 fourth grade school photos fill the frame side by side by side. These are 3 very different girls. Natalie with a page boy cut, wearing a Catholic schoolgirl's uniform, sports glasses, and braces. A bit awkward and gangly, even shy. Alex, formally dressed with perfect pigtails, is sophisticated and self-possessed. A class act, even a 10. Dylan, wild blonde hair and faded t-shirt, has a jaded, streetwise smirk. Even at this young age, her isolation and disillusionment are marked by seeming confidence.
There were 3 very different little girls.
The triptych remains on screen. Now it shifts into videotape. The 3 girls still in triptych. I hope I'm saying that right. Now teenagers on home video. Natalie, working the AV equipment at school, hides her face in embarrassment and comfortable with the camera. Freeze! Alex, in riding gear, accepting her steeplechase trophy. She knows where to look for the camera. Freeze! Dylan, smoking with her tough girlfriends in the girls' room of her reform school, is caught on camera. She flips it off. Freeze! Charlie.
Who grew up into 3 very different women.
Triptych continues. They're all women now in their early 20s. Natalie, a research fellow at MIT and beautiful but not flaunting it, demonstrates a chess-playing computer program to a room of impressed advisors. Alex, valedictorian at Oxford, passionately delivers her address to a crowd of rapt students, faculty, and parents. Dylan, in leather and a helmet, steps off a Harley. She sees a punk with a mohawk slapping around his girlfriend. She decks him, then enters the back door of a seedy punk bar.
With 3 things in common.
Triptych ends with photographs again. The women, as they are now, Natalie, Alex, Dylan, all gorgeous, all self-assured.
They're brilliant. They're beautiful. And they work for me.
Now, fireball explosions completely fill the screen.
My name is Charlie.
Yeah, angel silhouettes appear in flames. New music kicks in. Charlie's Angels. And a new title sequence takes over. Various shots, montage, over music. Credits continue as we watch the Angels in action from presumably previous adventures. A microscope peering Natalie cuts a ruby, drops it in a laser housing, and shoots a red beam. Dylan, wielding kendo sticks, spars with 2 Yakuza. Jesus, Jen. Travis, I blame you. Alex sidekicks 2 baddies, spins, drops a 3rd, zoom back. She is at the Parthenon, a motocross race. Natalie digs in for the finish, attacking the last jump with gusto. Dylan, in traditional Islamic robes, finds a secret switch. She pushes back a bookcase to reveal secret stairs. At a ballroom dance competition, Alex wows the crowd while keeping her eye on a nefarious couple. Bosley as Luca, the badass pimp, bitch slaps a couple of hoes. Actually, Dylan and Alex, then winks at them as unsuspecting drug dealers back off. Scared. Natalie bites into a messy hot dog, has to just laugh. The 3 angels elbow their way through a roller derby match. In orange prison jumpsuits, Alex and Dylan, it's a montage! Alex and Dylan work in female chain gang. Window washer Natalie peers into a skyscraper office, surreptitiously photographing the meeting inside. On an Italian street, the 3 angels buy a paper, grin at its headline, Mystery Women Save European Union. As they high-five, Dylan's cone of gelato drops to the sidewalk. The angels look at each other, And just have to laugh. Title sequence ends. Over black, we hear a digital ring. Interior tiny houseboat bedroom day. Close on Dylan. Oh, the chat was great. As Dylan she wakes up in a tangle of ugly sheets, disoriented and a bit hungover. She hears the ringing. Where is it coming from? Why is it drilling into her head? Checking the floor, she finds her jeans. Digs in the pocket to find her cell phone. Answering. Oh, I think you're muted.
Hi. Hi. Okay, I'll be right in.
She clicks the phone off, then starts looking around. Where the fuck is she? From the next room, we hear a male voice singing, My Sharona. Do. She checks under the sheets. Oh, God. She's naked. She pulls her shirt from the floor, puts it on. Closing her eyes, she prays.
Like morning starfish.
God.
At the door, skinny, shirtless Chad holds a skillet of eggs.
Hungry.
Exterior Chad's crappy boat. Day, blinded by the daylight, Dylan emerges from below, relieved to see the boat is docked. Chad follows her outside, pleading.
Oh, come on, Dylan. You and me. It's magic.
It's a mistake. A horrible mistake.
She jumps onto the dock.
Then how come we kept on getting back together? It's fate.
Dylan just keeps walking.
Is it because I live on a boat?
Whip 2, close up, man's face. This is Jason Gibbons, handsome, action movie stud. He's concentrating fiercely.
If you don't defuse this bomb, Logan, LA is going to be a new underwater attraction.
A bead of sweat drops down Jason's face.
Get off my back, Sanchez. I know what I'm doing.
Reveal Alex, her face right next to his.
Which wire? The red one or the blue one?
Merrick's has a thing for red. Red cars, red boats, red-headed hookers.
So the red one.
That's why I'm gonna say blue.
He makes a snip motion. They both breathe a sigh of relief.
You saved the world again, Logan.
She leans forward, closer and closer, right in his face.
That's my job.
Alex kisses him. It's a damn good kiss. Jason's into it, but pulls away for a second.
I don't think Sanchez would kiss me. He's a 40-year-old man.
Pull back to reveal Alex and Jason are in a fully macked out Airstream, sitting on a bed, leaning over an open screenplay. We can tell from our surroundings that Jason is a big deal Hollywood action star, and this trailer is his home away from home. She licks the bridge of his nose choices, then kisses him again.
Let's have it rewritten.
Yes! As she smiles, a cell phone rings. Both Alex and Jason reach for their phones. It's hers.
Hello?
Exterior Jason's Airstream day. Jason stands in the doorway in his robe as Alex tosses her stuff in the back of a very excellent car.
So, when you coming back?
Not sure. Whenever I can, I'll call you.
Oh, great. That's helpful. I don't get it. What kind of executive assistant is on a 24-hour call?
A very good one.
You ask me. Your boss is an asshole. What do I get to meet this Charlie guy, anyway?
Charlie's not very social.
Yeah, well, I think you should quit.
Charlie needs me.
I need you.
Alex looks back. That was more personally revealing than she expected. A PA comes up next to Jason.
Mr. Gibbons, we're ready for you on set.
Jason nods, then back to Alex.
I gotta go save the world.
Alex smiles at the irony of that.
My hero.
She blows him a kiss and speeds off. Exterior beach apartment walkway day. Natalie knocks on the door to 113. A beat later, the door swings open to reveal Bob. Natalie screams in astonishment.
What? Natalie, what?
I thought you were dead. Oh my god, I thought you were dead.
She pushes past him. Interior Bob's apartment, day. Popeye Bob. Anyway, Natalie makes a beeline for his keys on the table. Starts taking one key off the ring.
I thought the police might be here, or your neighbors, or your parents, here to identify your remains.
He has no idea what she's talking about. She goes to the bathroom where she retrieves a toothbrush.
I saw your car was here, so I knew you weren't carjacked and brutally beaten, left to die on the highway.
Her cell phone rings.
Not.
She holds up a finger just a sec.
Hello? Absolutely. I'll be right in.
She hangs up.
I'm not dead.
But you can understand why I thought so. You missed our date last night. You didn't call or anything. I was just sitting there by myself.
Angle on Bob. What can he say?
I can tolerate a lot, but punctuality and attendance, those rank very high in my list of dating priorities.
I can explain.
Behind Natalie, a door opens. A topless blonde looks out.
Bobby?
I can explain.
Behind the blonde, Isaac Hayes looks out. He's also topless.
Bobby?
Damn.
Beyond weirded out, Natalie just leaves. Cut to, yeah, girl, run away. Exterior Sunset Boulevard, day. Passing cars reveal the one and only Charles Townsend Detective Agency. That's what the sign says. Interior, Charles Townsend Detective Agency, day. In foreground, a blender whirs. Still hungover, Dylan cringes from the sound. Natalie pours out 3 fruit smoothies for the angels.
Just once I want to date a normal guy, without a wife or a drug addiction or bondage issues.
Here.
She and Natalie toast. Alex is only half in, off their look.
What? I've got a great relationship.
Your boyfriend thinks you're a secretary.
That way he doesn't ask about my work.
Bosley walks in with a folder. He eyes their drinks.
I'm sorry, Bosley. I only made enough for 3.
No, that's okay.
It's not okay, but that's our Bosley. He takes a seat behind his desk. Now we see the biggest addition to the office, the Angels Wall of Fame. Pictures of every angel from the original cast members to some fictitious ones we've never seen before. The rest of the office is exactly as we remember it, right down to the speakerphone.
Morning, angels.
Good morning,
Morning,
Charlie.
Yeah, the angels take a seat on couches and chairs.
Sorry to call you back from vacation, but I've got a case that just can't wait.
As he's talking, the far blinds close themselves. A white screen lowers from the ceiling, ready to catch the projected video. A handsome man in his 20s is in a CNN profile. The sound is muted, but we see him attending a gala in an office surrounded by computers, rock climbing, smiling in a sit-down interview.
Meet Eric Knox.
He's cute.
He is.
Oops, did Bosley say that out loud?
He's 28 years old. 3 days, he'll be a billionaire. When his company, Knox Technologies, goes public.
It's good to be him.
So what's the catch?
Last night, Knox was kidnapped from his own office.
On video, surveillance camera footage of a parking garage. 2 men in hoods shove Knox into a black car.
Any ransom?
No one's heard a thing from the kidnappers.
Well, I guess we're not going to hear anything, period.
No.
They don't want the money. They just want to sink our company.
A striking woman in a suit stands in the doorway.
Angels meet Vivian Wood, Vice President of Finance for the Knox Technologies. She's hired us to find Knox.
The initial public offering is in 3 days. If we don't get Mr. Knox back, or if word gets out that he's missing, the company stands to lose $1 billion.
She seems to direct this next sentence right to Natalie.
We need your help.
Charlie, where do we start?
Alex, I want you and Bosley to stake out Roger Corbin.
Bosley is excited to hear his name mentioned. On video, Roger Corwin. He's an unpleasant looking man who's even nastier when he tries to smile. We see logos for his company, Red Star Systems.
For the past year, he's been trying to buy Knox's company and their new browser software. Knox refused to sell his company, Red Start Systems, has the most gain from Knox's disappearance.
Yeah. Kidnap the founder and you sink the company.
Alex, exactly, Alex. Let's keep our eyes on Mr. Corwin, Angels. If Knox is still alive, Roger Corwin might lead us to him.
We're on it.
Any chance you'll be joining us, Charlie?
Cut to Charlie's POV. We see his chalky fingers grabbing into a handhold. We're halfway up the face of Yosemite's El Capitan. The ground is hundreds of feet below.
I'd love to, Angels, but I've got my hands full this morning.
Jesus. Two beautiful and buxomly climbing buddies smile at him. Wipe to. Exterior Palm Springs Spa Day establishing. Exterior spa deck, outside walkway day built into the Palm Springs hills. This very exclusive spa has a fantastic view of the desert. Dressed in a crisp spa uniform, Alex has a sidebar with a white-robed Bosley. She shows him a tiny electronic device shaped like a bullet.
This is a transmitter. I'll be able to hear everything you say.
Where do I hide it? I'll be nude.
Alex takes a plastic cup, drops the transmitter into it, covers it over with ice chips from a nearby bucket. Bosley nods. Clever girl.
Try to get Corwin to talk about the industry. Knox, anything.
Understood.
She points him in the direction of the men's spa, but he's frozen with excitement.
I'm going undercover.
I know. You'll do great.
Interior men's steam room day. A burst of steam clears, revealing Bosley. He waddles forward in his shower clogs, which squish with every step. He's wearing two towels, one around his waist and a second one around his chest. As more steam dissipates, we see there are 7 men sitting on the risers. 6 are gorgeous, ranging from Calvin Klein models to Marlboro men. Bosley looks around, taking a keen interest. Maybe he's checking them out. Maybe he isn't. We just don't know. The 7th man is Roger Corwin, who we recognize from the videotape. He's leaning forward, a gold chain dangling. It's beside him that Bosley takes a seat. He sets the ice cup and the transmitter in a strategic location. Noticing that none of the other men have towels around their bosoms, Bosley nervously undoes his, revealing skin the color of cooked salmon. He fluffs up his sparse chest hair, then decides to smush it back down. He tries to make eye contact with Corwin, working way too hard. Annoyed, Corwin finally looks over.
Hot in here, isn't it?
Corwin shakes his head. Idiot.
Just came here to unwind a little. Business these days is go, go, go. My company just held an official pubic offering.
An initial public offering. An IPO. Yes, he said pubic. Oh, wait, I didn't even read my own line. I was just trying to help. Jesus. He's about to correct himself when a very hot guy across from him, Ghost, moves his towel to wipe off some sweat. Jesus, I'm schwitzing myself. We don't see the promised land, but Bosley does. Ooh, it flusters him. He sees another guy eating ice chips. Good idea. Bosley does the same. He eats another and another.
So, what business are you in?
Corwin seems wary, but Bosley is clearly harmless.
Computers, software.
Oh, computers, huh? What do you know about this new browser from Knox Technologies?
Corwin bristles at the mention.
Word on the street is once they raise capital, they'll rule the industry.
I don't see that happening.
Really? Why not?
The door opens. A rush of steam. Adonis himself enters. Picking a seat behind Bosley, he pulls off his towel as he passes. We just see a bit of ass, but Bosley is face to face with the baby maker. One ice chip is not gonna do it. He chugs the rest of his cup, including the transmitter, which bleeps. Corwin and others look over. What the hell was that? The device still in his mouth, Bosley has no choice but to smile and swallow. His eyes go wide as he chokes it down. Corwin gets up to leave.
Nice talking with you.
Another bleep. He shuts his mouth tight, smiles, rubs his chest a little bit, trying to get the transmitter down. Interior private massage room day. Corwin walks into a lushly appointed private massage room. A masseuse dressed in a skimpy robe, her back to us, oils up her hands sensuously near the window.
Please, take off clothes, Mr. Corwin.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have nightmares. Corwin gets under the sheet on his stomach. The masseuse turns around and now we see that it's Alex. Alex starts to work on his back. She is clearly an expert at this. This is a legit place, but there's something undeniably sensual about the whole experience.
You're carrying a lot of tension along the fourth and fifth vertebrae. Let me see if I can work it out.
Under the table, we look up to see Corwin's face in the cradle. He's in a tortured rapture. Alex works along Corwin's back and neck. She pulls his arms out to the side.
The human body is an amazing instrument. Just by activating the right energy points, you can improve the circulation, alleviate pain, or
Corwin goes limp.
knock a man unconscious.
Confident Corwin is out cold, she slides the key strap off his wrist. Interior executive locker room day. Making sure she's alone, Alex uses the key to open a locker. She carefully sorts through Corwin's things, finding his Palm Pilot organizer. Oh my god, you remember those? She clicks it into a special device which blips as it downloads all his information. Putting the Palm Pilot away, she shuts the locker. Interior massage room day. Close on Corwin as he suddenly wakes up, disoriented. Just when we think Alex's plan has failed, we tilt up to see Alex is right there. She's massaging him.
Ugh, you must have dozed off.
A beat. Yeah, he must have. Patented Angels flip leads us to cut to interior Natalie's excellent convertible day. The Angels are all in the car together, cruising down Sunset Boulevard. Dylan drives. Alex is in the passenger seat. Natalie's in the back seat with her computer on her lap.
Can you not drive my car so fast, Dill? I'm trying to type.
I drive too fast. Look who's talking.
She pulls into an In-N-Out burger. Yeah, right up through the drive-thru.
Yeah, I want 3 doubles, animal style fries, and 3 chocolate shakes.
While they wait for their order, Natalie punches something up on her computer.
Here's Corwin's itinerary.
On screen, we see a list of all Corwin's plans for the next week. 2 events in particular stand out. Tuesday night, investor reception, Biltmore Hotel. Thursday, San Diego Raceway. Or should I say San Diego? Dylan glances over the schedule.
All right, okay, we'll hit the reception tonight. I only wish we had a clue to go on.
The food comes. Dylan takes it.
Hold that thought.
Excuse me. Natalie goes back to the computer again, slipping a CD into the drive. Dylan hands out the food, spilling a lot of it. A big glop of chocolate shake lands on the keyboard.
Hello, expensive equipment.
Sorry.
Natalie licks the shake off her fingers, taps away at the keyboard.
Oh, check this out. New program I just got from a friend in the bureau. We take the footage from the kidnapping.
On screen, the footage downloads from the CD into the program. Natalie fast forwards through it until she comes to a shot of one of the kidnappers where his mask is partly pulled away from his face.
Isolate the part of the subject's face that's revealed, then rectangulate his bone structure.
The program zooms in on the revealed part of his face, then runs a series of calculations. A new drawing starts to appear.
And voila, we've got a composite.
Natalie's portable printer spits out a simulated composite of one skinny, bad-looking dude. Dylan grabs it, looks it over.
Sweet. Now we've got someone to look for.
She hands it to Alex to inspect.
Oh yeah, he'll be easy to spot with that open head wound.
She turns the composite around, revealing that Dylan has smudged his head with ketchup. They all just have to laugh. Wipe 2, interior Biltmore Ballroom day. A sophisticated reception is in full swing, an ocean of smart suits and power ties. Dressed as a catering waitress, Natalie carries a tray of hors d'oeuvres. Sorry, I keep thinking of when Travis couldn't say that. Moving with her, we pass Roger Corwin, who talks with another suit, and further on, a conservatively dressed Dylan, who chats up a group of Wall Street types.
I mean, the average investor sees technology stocks as discrete entities. This one is up 50 points, this one is down 10 points. It's only through derivative analysis that one sees the real power of that sector.
A few nods. She makes a good point.
Which analysis method do you prefer?
On Dylan. Shit. She tries to stall for Jeff Goldblum.
Well, there are so many options. I mean, who can say what the one best choice is?
Across the room, still walking, Natalie talks to no one.
Kepler Wilson.
Back with Dylan.
For my money, Kepler Wilson is a strong choice.
More nods, ad-libbed agreement. The broker guy is impressed. Excusing herself, Dylan turns and suddenly touches her ear, where she's wearing a hidden radio.
Thank you.
At the bar, Natalie loads champagne flutes onto her tray.
Anytime. Anytime.
My bad.
Anytime what?
She looks up to see a very cute bartender, Pete, 26. She didn't realize he was so close.
Anytime. Day or night. I am excited to be handing out champagne.
Oh, God. What did she just say? But he smiles anyway. She heads back out into the crowd. You can almost see the big L on her forehead. By the fountain, Dylan has been watching this. We intercut between her and Natalie.
He's cute.
I'm working.
65% of relationships begin at the workplace.
He's a bartender. I need dependable. I need reliable. I need a Volvo man.
Lay ouch for all the bartenders. Anyway, Natalie walks past Dylan, not acknowledging her. Dylan snaps her fingers.
Ew. I feel like...
Miss, I think that's mine. Miss!
Yeah.
Champagne.
Natalie comes
Really
back a
loves
little and... Ooh, yeah, me too. A little annoyed. Dylan takes a glass for herself, then foists the other glasses on everyone around her, whether they wanted it or not.
Why don't you go get some?
Why don't you go get some more, waitress?
I thought they were flipping.
She nudges Natalie in that direction. Go to the bar, Natalie! At the bar, we tilt up from a Japanese comic book to Pete. He suddenly realizes Natalie is waiting for him.
Sorry.
He starts filling more flutes.
What are you reading?
He holds it up.
That's the new Mashio Kazura. That's not even out in America.
You know Mashio Kazura?
Hello, Warriors of the Broken Earth?
I know. I just moved back from Tokyo, and it's the biggest thing since Hirokari Makura.
Tumaru Nasagala Isha Toko Sine!
Nagata. Weeg Gong Ni Ziru.
We are the actors who say "nee." Imagine that. Natalie takes her tray and reluctantly heads off on Dylan.
Ask him out.
On Natalie. She turns and heads back.
I'm Natalie.
Pete.
Listen, there's an animation festival at the Egyptian this week. I was wondering if you might want to...
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock?
I'll meet you there.
On Dylan, she smiles, hearing the deal close. Yeah! Pushing through a cluster of investors, she bumps into a thin man.
Pardon me.
He doesn't respond, but something about this man raises her suspicions. Where has she seen him before? As he moves out of earshot.
Natalie, 9 o'clock, thin man.
On Natalie.
I'm on it.
Spotting the thin man, she heads his way.
Vegetarian spring roll.
He waves her away. No. Oops, she drops a napkin in front of him. She kneels down to get it. As we move in very close on her tray, we see that there's a tiny digital display. A metal detector has built into the rim. It blips as she moves past his ankle, and again she rises up past his chest. The man just keeps walking.
2 guns, 1 ankle, 1 shoulder.
Call it.
You take point, I'll circle behind.
Copy.
Interior hallway day. The thin man is headed down the hall. Looking back, we see Dylan enter from the ballroom.
Excuse me?
He doesn't turn back.
Excuse me, do you know which way the ladies' room is?
The man takes a sudden right into a service hallway.
Why do they always run?
She slips off her heels to give chase. Interior service hallway day. The thin man comes around the corner. We stay tight on him until he suddenly stops. Natalie has come around from the other side. His bad guy instincts tell him these women are working together. He's boxed in, and then a ding! Elevator door is open beside him. He looks in to see the clueless bellboy who had a funky groove going on in his headphones. In a single motion, the thin man yanks the guy out into the hallway and takes his place. Hits the button. From opposite directions, Natalie and Dylan run to the elevator, but the doors have already shut. Checking the panel.
He's going down.
They take the stairs. Interior basement service hallway day. Natalie and Dylan emerge from the staircase to find the elevator empty. To the left, exit doors swing tellingly. Exterior downtown Los Angeles day. Nat and Dylan smash through the exit doors and out into the sun-drenched streets of beautiful downtown Los Angeles. Natalie immediately spots the thin man booking down the alley.
That way.
And they take off after him. What ensues is the fastest, wildest 2 chicks and 1 guy foot chase you've ever seen. Here are some highlights. Thin man pulls himself clumsily over a chain link fence. Dylan and Natalie pull an old Jackie Chan trick and run up the sidewall and hop over easily. Parkour! Thin man, still on foot, waits for traffic to slow, then darts across the Harbor Freeway. By the time Dylan and Natalie get there, traffic is roaring again. Undeterred, they make their way through, tucking and rolling under the wheels of a moving semi. Dylan is racing down an alley when a car comes barreling at her. She leaps up onto the hood of the car as it drives underneath her, a la one of those That's Incredible stunts. They chase the thin man into an industrial laundromat. The scene goes something like this. Interior industrial laundry room. Thunderously loud, with industrial washers and dryers operating at full tilt. Natalie and Dylan are just entering when 3 shots ring out. They dive for cover behind a massive washer assembly.
There are times where I wish we carried guns.
Where's the challenge in that?
Ugh.
Angle on the thin man, planning his next move. With no good shot at the Angels, he aims high, both guns blazing. He shoots out the pipes over their heads, sending down a cascade of hot water. Dylan and Natalie scramble back to avoid getting scalded. Other pipes shatter from the change in pressure, leading to an interior thunderstorm. Steam fills the room as an inch of water grows on the floor. Natalie and Dylan push rolling laundry carts in the thin man's direction. He shoots at them, but quickly realizes they're just trying to waste his bullets. Holstering one of his guns, he dials his cell phone. On the far wall, Natalie switches on one of the overhead hooks, which circle on a wire like a ski lift. The thin man looks up distracted, not noticing Dylan as she creeps up behind the cover of the rolling laundry carts. She's succeeded in circling behind the thin man as he talks on the phone. She clears her throat. The thin man turns. She kicks him in the jaw. Knocked back, he drops the phone, which cracks and slips under a washing machine. He crab walks back, then suddenly springs back onto his feet. We weren't expecting that kind of ninja move out of this guy. He turns to see Natalie right behind him. With a coiled towel, she grabs his gun arm and expertly flips him, but he reacts smoothly, rolling over to charge at Natalie, picking her up like a sack of potatoes. As he does, he grabs her right in the tit. Oh.
Hey! Hands off, ass!
Before she can even finish her sentence, although I really wish she would, the thin man throws Natalie at Dylan, knocking them both down. He jumps up and with a single motion grabs an overhead pipe and kicks another, releasing a wall of steam. We can't see a thing. Yes, grab the tit. By the time the fog clears, the thin man is long gone. That tit-grabbing asshole.
Okay. Summarize? Damn.
Lying down in the water, Dylan reaches under the washer to fish out the thin man's busted cell phone. Interior Townsend Agency backroom day. Johnny, stop sending shit in the chat. Natalie sits at a glowing computer monitor, the thin man's cell phone connected by a data cable to the Townsend Angels and computers. Rapidly touching the screen, she calls up a list of the last 35 phone calls he received. They're all from the same location.
Well, that was easy.
No, it wasn't.
She points to some code next to the numbers.
I've seen this before. He's scrambling his calls through a secondary location.
In English?
We need to tap his phone line at the source. Then we'll know where his calls were coming from.
503. That's not local. Where is it?
Boss, can we check a directory?
Don't bother. I know where it is. I used to spend every winter there.
As she says it, cut to exterior Aspen night. The sign says it. Welcome to Aspen. Various establishing shots of the gorgeous mountain town, still somehow quaint despite its astonishing wealth. Exterior cowboy bar, night. A rowdy establishment just outside of town. Interior cowboy bar, continuous. The kind of place that rich weekend skiers don't come. Lots of over-aggressive cowboy biker types drinking more than they should. There are only a few women in the place, and they are either waitresses or biker chicks. Suddenly, everyone stops what they're doing and turns to the door. Charlie's Angels have entered the room. Dressed in their stylish ensembles, they could not possibly look more out of place.
Yeah, look! Mechanical bull!
Eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize, Nat. We gotta tap the phones.
That looks like our target.
She points to a door at the back of the bar that leads into a glassed-in office. Two beefy bouncer types are guarding the door.
I'm gonna need a distraction.
Dylan and Natalie smile at each other.
I think that can be arranged.
The three angels split up, Bosley tagging along with Dylan. Dylan sidles up to the bar. A group of three rednecks are downing shots, one after another.
3 shots of tequila, please. And 1 Tom Collins.
Fantastic hat, Dylan. Anne. The rednecks stare at Dylan, drooling. Dylan turns to the first one.
Hey, baby, why don't you ditch that stiff and come sit on my lap?
Again, I'm gonna have nightmares. Bosley tries to make himself small.
Honey, that's an enticing offer, but I got a better idea. How about a shot contest? My treats.
Son
The
of...
three... Oh, hey, bitch, it's my line. The three rednecks hoot and holler. There you go.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Bartender, bring 10 shots of tequila over to my table and keep them coming.
By the Mechanical Bull. A group of wannabes are waiting their turn at the Mechanical Bull. Natalie wanders over behind them.
Mind if I try?
The crowd parts for her and Natalie hops up on the bull. She cranks it up and let's go, I guess? I don't know. By the bar, Dylan downs a shot, slams it on the table. Countless other glasses surround her. Reveal that 2 of the rednecks are down for the count. One falling out of his chair, the other passed out on the table. The third redneck is slurring badly, trying to keep up with Dylan.
Hey, I've got an idea. Let's have a chair throwing contest.
Huh?
Chair throwing? Never heard of it? You just pick up your chair and throw it as far as you can.
The redneck nods, lifts up his chair, and heaves it across the bar. Okay, here's an outline of what will happen in the rest of this scene. Dylan and Natalie create a distraction while Alex sneaks into the back office with Bosley to get the phone number of the chalet. Exterior High Mountain Road, night. A VW van climbs the winding road. As we get closer, we see the side reads Chalet Grams, or Chalet Grams. Anyway, a ding-dong, ding-dong, dong. Ding-ding-dong. Doorbell rings. Interior Mountain House, great room night. 2 thugs with shoulder holsters look up, hearing the bell. One was tending to the fire.
We expecting somebody?
Thug 2 shakes his head, checking his gun. Thug 1 grabs for his windbreaker, puts it on over, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, exterior front porch night. Thug 1 opens the door to find Dylan and Natalie dressed in Swiss Miss outfits, complete with blonde braids.
Oh, guten Tag.
Guten Morgen!
Gute Nacht.
Guten
Guten Freund.
The girls lean in and hug each other, butts sticking out. To the left, Bosley starts playing oompa, oompa, oompapa, oompapa on a wraparound tuba. He's wearing lederhosen with a feather in his hat. Natalie begins to yodel. Dylan hands a fancy envelope. Yeah, girl. Envelope to the bewildered thug. Thug 2 is approaching from behind, curious to what the hell is going on. Dylan begins to sing a song in German about a too curious goat and his worried mistress. Even with the pantomime, we've no idea what's happening. It seems wholesome, but occasionally one of the girls touches the other in a weirdly coquettish, oddly sexual way. Thug 2 looks at the address on the envelope.
They got the wrong address.
Shut up.
As the Angels continue their routine, the camera rises. 3 quick cuts take us to exterior the roof night, where a black cat-suited Alex stands at the chimney. A ribbon of smoke curls from the stack. Pulling the pin from a canister, she drops it down the chimney. Interior Mountain House Great Room night. A cheerful fire burns in the oversized fireplace. The canister drops into the flames from above, suddenly venting a hissing sound of Halen gas. The fire dies immediately, the logs covered with a violent frost. Interior the chimney night. Alex doesn't even need a rope. Her feet pressed to the sooty walls. She expertly slides down to the bottom. Interior great room night. Alex backs out of the fireplace to find a waiting bad guy swinging a fireplace poker at her head. She ducks just in time. The poker shings against the stone, making a spark. Rolling, jumping, and diving, and ducking and dodging. And Alex scurries as Pokerman slashes and stabs. She ducks behind a chair, which Pokerman, I keep wanting to say Pokemon, catches with the hook, winging it across the room. Backed against the wall, Alex yanks on the heavy curtains, pulling them down along with the wooden curtain rod. A spin, a flourish of velvet, and the curtain rings drop off to leave her with a trusty quarterstaff. She goes on the offensive. Thrust, parry, spin. But he's a worthy adversary. One good karate kick breaks her staff in two. She uses both pieces to club him in the knees, then rolls back to the fireplace. She grabs the remaining tool, the fireplace tongs. Pokerman swings. Alex catches his weapon in the tong scissors, yanking it free with such force the point sticks in the wall. A quick kick knocks Pokerman to the floor, where Alex rolls on top of him. She catches his head in the tongs, squeezing his temples. His eyes bulge.
Where's Knox?
Interior windowless room night. Young billionaire Eric Knox paces. He's grumpy, with 2 days of stubble, but still a darn attractive guy. Hearing a kick at the door, he turns. A second kick blows the door open. It's Alex.
Who are you?
The cavalry. Giddy up.
Exterior front porch night. Bosley is about to hyperventilate on the tuba, sweaty and a little blue. Dylan and Natalie's new song has them sharing the saddle of an imaginary horse. When Dylan reaches back to slap the horse, she hits Natalie in the rump. Both women tee-hee. The thugs think it's pretty hot. Dylan whispers a secret to Natalie. Natalie whispers back. Turning to the thugs, they each lean in to whisper into a different thug's ear. As the men smile, the angels suddenly bonk the two men's heads together. Both men fall knocked out. Stepping over the bodies, Dylan heads inside. Yes. Interior Mountain House hallway night, looking for a way out. Alex leads Knox to a closed door. She opens it to find interior TV room night. 2 more thugs sitting in front of the big screen TV watching a college basketball game. Duke versus Maryland, in case you care. We don't. Guards look back, spotting Alex with Knox. That wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the 15 other thugs watching the game with them. Angle on Alex. It's an oh shit moment.
Sorry. Wrong room. Back. Run.
The thugs are out of their seats a moment later, each of them pulling out a firearm. Exterior front porch night, holding down 3 keys on the tuba. Bosley talks into the mouthpiece. It has a secret radio.
Alex, what's your status?
Interior staircase night. Running, Alex pushes Knox ahead of her, checking her back. She talks into a wrist mic.
Good news. I found Knox.
Another thug steps out in front of her. She kicks him down the steps.
Bad news. I found company.
Reaching the bottom of the steps, Knox is surprised to be grabbed by Dylan.
This way.
Perfect. At this point, he'll do whatever they say. Exterior front of Mountain House night. Dylan rushes Knox across the driveway to the waiting van. Natalie is pulling it around. Overhead, bright security lights switch on. Back at the front door, Alex pulls it shut. She attaches a carabiner clip to the handle, running a thin steel cord from it around the porch column. Interior foyer night. The first of the thugs reaches the door, tries to pull it open, but can't. The next few guards try to help him while the rest start smashing through the windows. Exterior front of Mountain House night. Running with the two, but Bosley stops for a moment to catch his breath, hands on his knees. Okay, ready to run again. He's the last to be pulled into the van. A spray of gravel and they're off. Interior of the van night. Everyone is piled on top of each other. Dylan and Knox have a few awkward moments as they get untangled. Bosley keeps making inappropriate tuba noises. Bum, 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 bum. I know that's a trombone. Don't worry about it. It's fine. At the wheel, Natalie is fierce and focused, in total control, looking out at the back windows. Alex sees the kidnappers piling into jeeps to give chase. From the side of the house, more thugs appear on motorbikes.
They're coming after us.
We were expecting that.
Okay, new problem.
Everyone's attention whips forward to see the headlights of giant logging truck coming from the up the high mountain road. Coming up the high mountain road from Final Destination 2. It straddles the center line, blocking both directions. There's no way around it.
Thoughts? Suggestions? Points to consider?
I don't suppose giving up would be a...
No, it wouldn't. Then...
Right!
There is no right.
There!
She points to a faded closed sign that hangs from a chain. In the darkness, who knows what it's blocking? But as we hear the thunderous horn from the oncoming truck, we know there's no other choice. Natalie cuts a hard right, smashing through the sign. The van thumps and bumps its way across the low grass, its headlights only showing 10 feet ahead. At any moment, the ground could stop in a cliff. Like, now! The van leaps into empty space. Tires spin. Helpless, the van falls. Everyone screams! Bosley is the loudest. And then... Touchdown! The van hits the ground hard, but not catastrophically. Natalie hits the brakes, cuts the wheel hard to avoid hitting a concrete wall in front of them. Everyone takes a beat to acknowledge they're alive.
Where are we?
Suddenly, a bright light goes on overhead. Exterior of the mountain night. One by one, a series of arc lights switches on, forming a snake all the way till the bottom of the mountain. Interior of the van night. Looking out the back windows.
It's a bobsled run.
They're facing backwards. Up ahead, the kidnappers are charging down the access roads. The first of two jeeps makes the jump into the bobsled chute.
If it goes down the mountain, that's just all I need.
Throwing it into reverse, Natalie peels out. The jeeps follow. Exterior bobsled run night. The VW van leads the way down the mountain, tail first. As it builds speed, it starts to climb the wall, each turn getting steeper and steeper. The two jeeps are following. Facing the right direction, they have a much easier time of it. Interior van night. Everything is shaking so violently it looks like a NASA launch.
Hard left! Hard left!
Natalie makes the turn. The van rises up, nearly tilting over, but they make it through the turn.
Is this part of the plan?
Yeah. Except for the bobsled run and the backwards run, it's went exactly according to plan.
A beat. He smiles at her. He has a nice smile. Exterior bobsled run night. One of the jeeps makes a move, closing the distance to the van. A rifleman leans out the passenger window, lining up a shot. He fires. Interior of the van night. The shot blasts cleanly through the top of the windshield, through the horn of Bosley's tuba, then out the back window. Missed, hitting somebody by millimeters. Natalie is still focused, making each turn as Alex calls it. Exterior bobsled run night. The front jeep gets even more aggressive, building speed. It hits the next turn too fast, rising up too high along the wall. It tips further and further, finally rolling over onto its back. It scrapes across the concrete. A shower of sparks as it slows down. With nowhere to go, the second jeep brakes hard, but can't stop. It smashes into the first jeep, a tangle of steel. Please welcome to the stage, a tangle of steel. The combined mass continues sliding down the run like a jagged pinball in the chute. Interior of the van night. Dylan looks out through the windshield as the jeep combo recedes farther and farther away.
I think we're in the clear.
Just then, two motorbikes race up along the chute walls, passing the crippled jeeps. Two more motorbikes jump in from above.
Or maybe not.
Suddenly, Natalie gasps, remembering something.
Oh God, no!
What is it?
Whip cut to exterior Egyptian theater night. A dejected Pete stands in front of the sign for the anime festival, 2 tickets in hand. Whip back to interior of the van night.
I have a date with Pete. Right now.
Ouch.
Hard right!
Natalie makes the hard right. The motorbikes are gaining up on them, but Natalie and Dylan have to talk through this first.
Okay, call him. He'll totally understand.
Gee, sorry, Pete. I had to rescue a billionaire.
Hard left!
She makes the left.
I'll sound like a flake. I can't stand flakes.
He'll give you the second chance.
You think?
Hello, I saw the way he looked at you.
One motorcycle charges, coming up just feet from the windshield. Natalie taps on the brakes. The freaked out guy can't slow down in time. He smacks into the windshield and goes flying.
We're at the bottom.
Indeed, we are. The concrete walls end, leaving open ground. Slamming on the brakes, Natalie turns the van around. Everyone goes flying. Bosley is still on the phone with Charlie. Exterior base of the mountain, night. Back facing the right direction. The van charges onward. The motorcycles race up to the passenger side, grabbing for the door. Interior of the van, night. Dylan slams open the door, knocking one rider off. The sliding door opens. Another rider outside trying to get in. Thinking fast, Knox grabs Bosley's tuba and shoves it at the motorcyclist, who tumbles, taking out the fourth rider in the process.
Well done.
Thanks.
Cut to helicopter. Thunders over. We are interior of the helicopter, night. Natalie is at the controls. Bosley beside her. Alex leans forward from the second row.
I think that went very well. Charlie should send me on more missions.
We couldn't have done it without you, boss.
Natalie pats him on the arm. She and Alex exchange a quick glance. They have to just laugh. In the back row, Knox is looking out over the gorgeous lights of Aspen.
Cocktail.
She offers him an airplane-sized bottle of Johnny Walker Black. He takes it and toasts. They both down their drinks in a single shot. A smile, and then music rises. The Angels' triptych descends. The act is over. After a beat, we wipe to reveal exterior Charles Townsend Detective Agency day, reestablishing. Interior Charles Townsend Detective Agency the next day. Charlie is on the speakerphone. The Angels are in their usual lounging positions.
Good work, Angels. Not only did you save Knox, but you saved his company as well.
I think that earned us a vacation.
Say, Fiji?
Any special guy you were thinking of inviting?
Natalie grins a guilty smile.
Sorry, Angels. Our work is only half done.
Knox enters, clean-shaven and neatly pressed. He's still a darn good-looking man. Vivian Wu follows him.
Meet your new client, Eric Knox.
First off, thank you. You rescued me, for which I am eternally grateful.
He's talking to all the Angels, but his gaze seems to fall most upon Dylan. She notices it.
But there's still a problem. Whoever kidnapped me wasn't just trying to screw up our IPO. They also stole the proprietary software for our new web browser. I'm sure it was Roger Corwin, but I need proof.
That's where you come in, Angels.
Circling around, we see the video images of Corwin and the Red Star Systems logo on the big screen.
We need to break into Star's computer systems, see if Mr. Knox's software is indeed being converted for Red Star's use.
Sounds like a plan.
Not as easy as that, Natalie. Red Star's headquarters are as tightly guarded as a military facility. We're going to need reconnaissance on their mainframe computer system, and the best way to get that is through Mr. Corwin himself.
A video image of Corwin's Palm Pilot schedule comes up on the big screen. The shot pulls in close on San Diego Speedway.
We need to pin a camera on him to get the footage of the inside of the building. Thanks to Alex's work at the health spa, we know that Corwin will be at the San Diego Speedway on Thursday. Get close to him, Angels. But don't tip your hint.
Consider it done.
Dylan, I need you to arrange for Mr. Knox's security. I'd hate to have him kidnapped again.
Absolutely, but we'd all feel safer if you could join us, Charlie.
Cut 2. Underwater. From Charlie's POV, looking up at the sunlight. 3 manta rays swim above us. We can hear the bubbles from Charlie's regulator.
I'd love to, Angels, but I'm a bit over my head at the moment.
A manta ray swims past super close, letting us right to exterior Knox House dusk. A majestic craftsman in the hills, Frank Lloyd Wright meets his conspicuous consumption. Interior Knox House attic dusk. A flashlight beam sweeps past, revealing Dylan. With just her shoulders above the rafters, she's checking a dusty crawl space. She finds nothing suspicious. Interior Knox's walk-in closet dusk. Knox stands below, Dylan's boots on his shoulders. The heels dig in a bit, but he's not complaining.
We're good.
He moves to help her down, but she does a reverse pull-up to handle it by herself. She leads the way. Interior Knox's bedroom dusk. The room is huge. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, we see that we're up in the hills. Knox follows her as she walks.
Okay, I've got surveillance on all of the windows. Don't answer the door. Don't answer the phone.
We continue. Interior Knox living room dusk. Just as big, just as beautiful. Knox, or his decorator, has great taste. Everything is top quality, but unpretentious.
Also, stay away from the windows.
They're bulletproof. The last owner was paranoid.
Lucky for us.
She takes a marker-sized device off the table.
So, this is a panic button. Press it in, and one of us can be here in 10 minutes.
Which one of you?
Whoever's closest.
She takes her jacket off the couch, ready to go.
So at the moment, that'd be you. I have a better idea.
What?
He tosses her the panic button.
Stay for dinner. I'm a pretty good cook.
I can't, Mr. Knox. I'm sorry. If you...
I'm scared.
Dylan is surprised by this.
Look, I didn't want to admit it, but I am. I was kidnapped once, and it wasn't fun. You probably have other plans, but it'd be very reassuring.
Dylan looks him over. Normally, she'd be suspicious, but the guy was just kidnapped, and he seems sincere.
Come on, don't make me beg. I'm embarrassed already.
She smiles.
Don't be.
She throws her coat back on the sofa. Interior Knox living room night. We pan off a half-played Scrabble game to find Dylan and Knox at the windows. Dylan picks up a family photo. Knox is a little boy with a father in military uniform.
It's you, huh? Cute kid. Cute family.
Thanks. It's the only picture I have of me with my parents. They died a week later.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
Please don't apologize. I was too young to understand. I never knew how they died. You know, when I was a kid, when I got shuffled from one foster home to another, I always thought they just disappeared.
But
I only found out later. So my dad was in the military. He and my mother were killed when he was on assignment somewhere in Eastern Europe. The files are classified. But I read enough to know that he was a good man. Apparently he was betrayed by one of his own team.
that's a lot for a kid to live with.
Yeah. But it motivated me, losing my family. Still does. I don't take anything for granted.
Dylan nods.
Boy, did I have you picked wrong.
How do you mean?
To be honest, I got jewelry. Spoiled little rich kid who inherited everything. That's pretty typical. I've got instincts for the job, but when it comes to men, well, let's just...
Glad you don't just see me as a client.
He brushes his hand against hers. She brushes back, fingers against fingers. A long beat.
Well, you are so...
Is there someone you need to be going home to?
No. But
He kisses her. After a moment, she breaks off. It's not that it was just a bad kiss. It was a damn good kiss. It's just...
I shouldn't.
Knox moves towards her.
Shouldn't you?
Dylan holds him back.
No, I definitely shouldn't.
She stands up.
Thank you for dinner, Mr. Knox. And lock the door behind me.
She gets up and leaves. Cut to Formula One race cars. Roaring past on the track. It's all thunder, smoke, and asphalt. We are exterior San Diego Speedway Day. With a roar, another blur of racers whips past with heat and noise and speed. The lead car bears the familiar markings of Red Star Industries. Roger Corwin is at the wheel, steering calmly to a comfortable lead, when he is suddenly bumped.
What the?
Another bump sends him screeching to the left. He almost crashes, then gets back on course, just as he's passed by a sleek black car sponsored by the Sony Corporation and manned by a mysterious driver with Texas Tornado inscripted on the helmet. We follow the black car as it pulls into the pit. Exterior freeway pit day. The racer pulls off her helmet as the pit crew surrounds her. Of course, the racer is Natalie, aka Betty Lou Hobert, the Texas Tornado.
Nice racing! Can't believe you never raced this track before.
Back where I'm from, we race in swamp and back roads. This is all a piece of cake.
Yes, Natalie shakes out her hair, winks at the pit boss. The pit crew races in to make repairs. Dylan, dressed in a pit suit, kneels by Natalie's front tire. Natalie crouches down next to her so they can talk.
Victim should give you enough time to do the deed.
I'm on it.
Dylan steals away, heading for Corwin's pit crew. Corwin is seething mad as he pulls into his pit.
Let's go! We're losing time here.
The pit repairs his car as Corwin is approached by another racer, also wearing a Red Star racing suit. He leans into Corwin's car, and now we see that it's the Thin Man.
Okay, boss.
No thanks to you. We're supposed to be heading off security. Who the hell is that bitch?
The Thin Man peers over at Natalie, but she's got her back to him.
I don't know. But I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, you do that.
Corwin peels out onto the track again, almost crushing the Thin Man in the process. As Corwin pulls out, Dylan sneaks in. In all the cacophony, no one notices as she grabs Corwin's suitcase out of the backseat of his regular car, a bitchin' Mercedes. She checks both ways to see if she's being watched.
Coast is clear, Dylan.
Cut to exterior the winner's circle, where Alex, dressed as a trophy girl, watches the race through binoculars and keeps an eye on her pals. She nods to Bosley, who is dressed as the flag waver. He speaks into a walkie-talkie.
Let's make the switch.
Back in the pit, Dylan pulls a briefcase out of her jumpsuit and swaps it with the one in Corwin's car. She carefully switches all his files from the old briefcase to the new one, then gives Alex a thumbs up. Meanwhile, back in the race, Natalie soars back onto the track, keeping Corwin in her sights. Then she spots another Red Star car coming up right next to her. She locks eyes with the Thin Man. The two of them recognize each other at the exact same moment. The Thin Man, realizing he's been made, jams on the brakes and skids off to the right, which leads to a ramp that heads out of the stadium. Natalie, not wanting to lose him, does something crazy. Even though she's at the front of the pack, she brakes hard, swerves into a full 180-degree U-turn, and starts heading the wrong way on the racetrack. Startled drivers pull off to the left and right as she follows the Thin Man out of the racetrack. Exterior Speedway Access Road Day. To a chorus of car horns, the Thin Man's blue racer weaves through the spectator traffic entering the speedway. Looking back, we see Natalie is gaining on him. Finally clear of the traffic, both cars let it rip! Cut to the brake!
Again?
Cut to helicopter video footage looking down on a freeway where a ubiquitous police pursuit is in progress.
If you're just joining us, we're approaching hour 5 of a pursuit that has led us all the way across the Southland. It speeds up to 80 miles an hour.
A beat-up gray Chrysler leads a phalanx of police cars down an empty freeway. It's oddly calm and hypnotizing.
Chuck, time and time again we hear the question, why don't the police just ram the other car or shoot out the tires? The LAPD has a policy of hanging back and following unless...
Suddenly, the blue Formula One car comes screeching past the cops and the suspect over 200 miles per hour.
What was that?
Interior Natalie's red car on the freeway day, still hot on the Thin Man's tail. Natalie has the engine roaring. As she passes the police cars, we see several officers look over. What the hell? Natalie catches up to the gray Chrysler, looks over to see the wild-eyed suspect hunched over the wheel. He looks back at her. A beat later, she's past him, just taillights on the freeway. Exterior freeway day. With the lanes cleared for the other chase, there is nothing preventing the Formula One cars from hitting top speed, which they do. Natalie is catching up to the Thin Man as they head under an overpass. We see kids cheering! Interior blue car day. The Thin Man checks his gauges. The gas dial is perilously close to empty. These cars are meant to be refilled often. Up ahead, he sees an exit. He starts to slow down. Exterior freeway day, but when you're going 200 miles per hour, that can take a while. He misses the exit. Natalie is trying to match his speed. The Thin Man pulls over to the side, stops fully, braking as hard as she can. Natalie still passes him. The Thin Man throws a U-turn, heading up the freeway on-ramp. Natalie follows. Exterior San Diego shipyard day. We catch glimpses behind fences and between train cars. The two racers gliding slowly down the narrow roads like lions pacing. Interior Natalie's red car day. Pulling off her helmet, Natalie scans right and left for the blue car. She's lost sight of him. The narrow windshields of these racers doesn't make it any easier. Exterior shipyard day. We look down on Natalie's car as she rounds a corner, still searching. Exterior pier day. Natalie spots the blue racer reaching the end of the long pier. It pulls a U-turn to face her, then stops, engine idling. There's only one way off the pier, and it's past Natalie. The Thin Man revs his engine. Natalie revs hers. Angle on a white seagull pecking at something on the pier halfway between the two racers. The bird looks up, hearing the engines. Angle on the Thin Man. He pulls his harness tighter, revs his engine higher. Angle on Natalie. If it's a game of chicken he wants, she'll give it to him. She revs her engine higher still. The noise scares the bird, who suddenly flies off. Like a flag being dropped, that's a signal for both racers to peel out. A cloud of smoke, rubber on asphalt. Already reaching a tremendous speed, the racers are on a collision course. The Thin Man isn't going to turn away. Neither is Natalie. Racing faster and faster still. There's only one way this can turn out, but then at the very last moment, the Thin Man wusses out. He cuts the wheel right, missing Natalie and careening off the edge of the pier. In slow motion, we watch as his racer hangs in midair. Wheels still spinning. Back heavy, the tail hits the water first. Natalie brakes hard, cuts the wheel to avoid going off the far end of the pier. She finally stops, the rear tire just a quarter inch from the edge. Craning up along the side of the pier, we find Natalie looking into the water where the blue racer went in. There's just a slick of oil and a steady stream of bubbles. Cut to video, camera's POV. We see lots of hallways, doorways, and security locks, all from the POV of a man's hip. The footage is from the camera in the switched briefcase that Corwin is now carrying with him. We pull back from the video to see we are actually watching it. Interior Charles Townsend Agency Day. On the big screen, the Angels and Bosley watch the footage along with Knox and Vivian Wu. Vivian has seated herself close to Natalie, so close in fact that Natalie keeps having to shift a few inches. Dylan, meanwhile, sits across the room from Knox, deliberately avoiding eye contact. On the big screen, as the video camera passes a room marked with an intimidating warning sign.
There.
Video freezes.
That's the room with the mainframe. Everything in Red Star goes through that system.
Charlie, what do you think?
So if we want to find proof that Red Star stole Knox technology, that's the computer to tap.
Exactly. They have heavy firewalls and encryption. Can't just jack in from the outside. You'd have to be physically in that room to get at the data.
Even if we do get inside, there won't be time to search for it. There's got to be 100 terabytes of information there. It could take days.
So you install a transmitter.
All eyes go over to Natalie.
Patch in directly to the relay broadcast on high frequency. That way you can have access to the mainframe from the comfort of your own home. And then they have no idea you can even peek inside.
Knox is impressed. The other angels nod. It's a good idea.
Where that bitch at?
That's all fine in theory, but you still have to get inside the room to install it. What about security?
Red Star has a lot of government contracts, so security is tight. Keycard badges throughout, redundant security at all red line areas with biometric scanners and weekly key codes. Pervasive video surveillance, lasers, air displacement sensors, plus a hardwired failsafe at the relay to prevent exactly this kind of tapping.
It sounds impossible.
Alex checks with her fellow angels. They're in agreement.
Sounds like fun.
With a subtle rush, we move into a stylized montage that shows how they do it. It features whip pans, freeze frames, and zooms to show us only the highlights.
Only the 2 directors can disengage the failsafe. You have to get their keys.
Whip cut 2. Interior nude girls day. Angle on director 140s, part of the lunchtime crowd. Ugh. Alex and Natalie are on the catwalk in the middle of a grinding routine. Paying for his drink, he fumbles with his wallet. His waitress helps him find the right bill. As she walks away, we see the waitress is Dylan. Freeze frame. We zoom in on the orange keycard she's grabbed from him. Exterior backyard birthday party day. Angle on Bosley, done up in full clown makeup. He tries to twist a balloon animal, but no luck. Finally, it pops, and the children cry. Entertaining the adults, magician Alex whips open her silk handkerchief to reveal that the item has disappeared. Scoozy. Angle on director 2, who looks very worried. Magician's assistant Dylan takes off her giant hat to reveal the director's billfold is underneath. Getting it back, he's relieved. Passing behind Dylan, Natalie takes the orange key card Dylan hands off. Freeze frame. Zoom in.
Then we have to get back into Red Star. Problem is, their biometric sensors are too good.
We need some help.
Whip 2, exterior street off Mulholland Day. Angle on Roger Corwin driving his Mercedes, that bitchin' Mercedes. He slows a road crew working ahead. Angle on Dylan dressed in an orange vest manning the slow stop sign. She makes Corwin stop, leans in to apologize for the delay. Behind the bitchin' Mercedes, Natalie sneaks up. She quickly picks the trunk lock, then quietly climbs in. She hoists in a large duffel bag, then shuts herself inside. Interior trunk of Corwin's Mercedes Day. We hear the car moving again. Stripped down to a bra, Natalie attaches an illuminated mirror to the underside of the trunk lid. Starts to pull more items from her duffel bag. Black shoes, a dress shirt, a tie. We hear the car moving again. Oh, I already said that. Exterior Red Star Day, establishing. We see Corwin's Mercedes pull into the parking garage. Interior parking garage, Red Star Day. Walking away from the car, Corwin hits the remote. The Mercedes whoops. A beat later, a hand comes out from under the trunk lid. Natalie climbs out, only she's not Natalie anymore. She's become Corwin, identical to the last detail. She tucks the last of the latex mask under her collar as she walks. Freeze frame. I feel like I'm saying street smart. Sorry. Anyway, interior security station day. Corwin puts his right hand on the sensor grid. A laser scans it. Approved. The security guard hits the button, releasing the gate. He goes back to his magazine as Corwin passes through. A beat then. A beat then.
Tommy, you gonna let me through or what?
Tommy the guard looks up, sees Corwin is still at the counter.
Oh! Yeah, sorry, Mr. Corwin.
Ramon's back! Sorry! He hits the button again, letting Corwin through. Tommy goes back to his magazine, still a little perplexed. Interior secure hallway day, the same place we saw on the videotape. Natalie, as Corwin swipes the 2 stolen fail-safe cards in a reader, sending the lights from red to green. Freeze frame! She splices in a transmitter the size of a cigarette pack, pulls up a tiny antenna. Freeze frame! Interior security hallway day. Corwin walks down the hall, still talking with his colleague. Natalie, as Corwin is walking right towards them. She turns away as she passes. He didn't even spot her. She smiles. Cut to exterior posh Beverly Hills Hotel day. Establishing interior restaurant day. As a group, the Angels move through the upscale lunch crowd to find Knox and Vivian Wu at a booth. Alex opens a slim Sony laptop, sets it on the table.
Done. Red Star's mainframe is open for business.
Astonished, Vivian Wu hits some keys, checking that what they say is true.
Champagne, please. Your best.
Smiling, Knox motions for them to take a seat.
I know why I hired you. You're the best.
A look between the Angels. They know it's true.
I'll have the systems get to work on this right away.
She reaches for the laptop. Bosley snatches it away.
Actually, Miss Wu, we will get to the work on this right away. Any evidence we find will be turned over to you and the proper authorities.
I don't think you understand how important that data is, mister.
Oh, indeed I do, and that's why I'll take very good care of it when I find it.
But
Vivian, please. Do as the man says.
Reluctantly, Vivian Wu pulls her hand away. Bosley tucks the laptop into a steel briefcase, then stands.
Where are you off to, boss?
Vacation. Going on vacay.
Uh-oh. Let me guess. You're off to chase bikinis at some tropical resort?
Exactly. Fire Island, here I come.
Sorry. Dylan does a spit take. The other two angels roll their eyes. Oh, Fire
Goodbye,
Island.
angels. Mr. Knox. Ms. Wu.
As Bosley exits the restaurant, Vivian Wu eyes him carefully. Knox raises a glass to toast the angels.
For champagne?
Have to go. Plans tonight.
Me too.
As they get up,
And you?
she notices the other angels staring at her. She doesn't answer at first.
Well,
Natalie quickly picks up what's going on. She glances at Alex, then clears her throat.
Hey, Dylan. Can we talk to you for a second?
The ladies' room, because that's where all the big conversations happen. Natalie, Alex, and Dylan kibitz near the sink.
When Knox isn't.
so what? I like him. Is that so wrong?
Yeah, Dylan, it is. He's a client.
Was a client. We finished the job.
She's got a point.
What? She doesn't have any point. Alex, I can't believe you're siding with her.
I'm not siding with anyone, but technically he is no longer,
You know Charlie would never approve of this.
Oh, come on. Charlie wouldn't care. I think you're just being overly cautious.
Guys? Guys!
They turn to look at her.
I'm a big girl. I make my own decisions. I'm going out with him.
She walks out of the ladies' room. Cut to interior parking garage, Beverly Hills day. Bosley hums "In the Navy" to himself as he walks through a parking garage. He's alone in the echoey garage, and everything we know about movies tells us this means trouble. Weep, weep, as his alarm shuts off. Just as he's about to lift the handle, he stops, looks back over his shoulder. Did he hear something? He scans the empty garage. No one in sight. Must have been his imagination. Just his imagination. Interior Bosley's Mercedes day. Bosley climbs in, shutting the door behind him. He's putting the keys in the ignition when a hand clamps a chloroform rag over his mouth. It's the Thin Man! Bosley struggles, but in moments, he's unconscious. Outside the car, the Thin Man stuffs Bosley in the trunk, slams it shut, revealing
Sweet dreams.
Vivian Wu standing beside the Thin Man. She's holding the case Bosley refused to give her before.
Now that we have the transmit, what do we do with the fat boy?
No!
Time?
No. Not until I've got the information I need. We'll take him to the compound. Hold him there. In the meantime, we've got to tie up loose ends.
Whatever you say, something like that, it means more work from me.
The angels will find out they were duped. We can't afford them jeopardizing our plans.
Here it comes.
We have to kill Charlie's angels.
The Thin Man sighs, whips out his cell phone.
I guess I'll cancel my weekend plans.
And speaking of weekend plans, cut to exterior Italian street night. Jason and Alex are walking down a beautiful tree-lined cobblestone street holding hands. The buildings and outdoor cafes are reminiscent of a quaint, vaguely European town.
Alex, I can't tell you how happy I am you came.
Me too.
No, I mean, it's weird. It's weirding me out how happy I am you're around. Am I sick or something?
Got me.
The only bummer is I start to Jones when you're not around. What the hell am I gonna do this weekend if you're not with me?
We'll get you some sedatives. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's problematic. He stops, takes her in his arms. With the moonlight shining down, it's very romantic. They kiss, then...
Hey! Wait a second. Come with me.
Come with you.
Miami. Oh, Jesus. That's a... On the Sony Jet. Oh, wow. I've got 2 tickets to the Final Four. What the... Okay, sorry.
Jason, I don't...
Wait. Before you say the answer I get a lot of, no, let me just say something, okay? I am sick of how little we see each other. I'm sick of stealing a day here or a week there.
It's my job, Jason. I can't explain it, but I have to be on call all the time, and...
What if I changed all that? What if I told you to quit your job and come live with me? What I'm saying, Alex, is that I want you to...
Before the blam blams of these gunshots ringing out, can we please stop the, Willy Wonka moment? Big nightmare. Okay, gunfire! Boom! Gunshots and shit.
Gunfire! Get down!
Alex in Angel's mode immediately throws him to the ground and covers him. She feels something wet, looks down to see Jason's chest, covered in blood.
Oh my god, you're hit. You're...
I'm fine. I'm fine. Hee hee. There's squibs. It's fake, see?
He wipes off a little, puts it on her tongue, finally convinced she almost lets herself laugh. Reveal that we are in a soundstage. The cobblestone streets is just a set. The gunfire was coming from some effects guys who were test firing guns for the upcoming action scene just outside the soundstage, visible through the open loading door.
Fake guns, too. They're just setting up for the next scene. As long as Alex Baldwin doesn't touch one.
Shut up, Travis. He helps her up.
You piece of shit. Sorry about that.
God, I loved that, the way you yelled everything, baby. You've been watching too many movies. All right, I gotta go reset these. Don't go anywhere. I want to finish this conversation.
As he walks out of the soundstage, Alex is left behind, alone. She cleans herself off, shaking her head at her own paranoia.
Nice, Alex. Real nice.
Zip! A wall next to her sprays a cloud of plaster. Alex looks at the hole. That's strange. Zip, zip. 2 more little explosions, these barely missing her face.
Hey, is someone firing more squibs, or...
Suddenly, without warning, the wall is plastered with silenced gunfire. It's only Alex's instincts that let her duck in time to avoid being turned into Swiss cheese. 2 tuck-in rolls behind a styrofoam set as 2 gunmen with silenced sniper rifles fan out on the fake city street. On Alex, crouched behind a wall. She looks both ways. If she tries to break for the open loading door, she'll lead the gunmen right back to Jason. Only way out of here is to head for the far wall, all the way across the building, where there's a fire exit. Taking a deep breath, she darts across the fake street. The gunmen fire at her, one of them pulling off his silencer and going to machine gun mode. The sound of the gunshots are covered by the sound of the effects guy test firing guns outside. Travis, I swear to God, if you mention that again, I will fake punch you through this goddamn Zoom call. Alex sees that the sets are held up by wooden support beams. She lifts her leg and delivers a solid blow, cracking the 2x4s in half. The gunmen move slowly through the fake street set. Suddenly they hear a creaking sound. They look up to see the whole fake building set collapsing. They dive out of the way just in time to see Alex race through the fire door. Exterior backlot night. Alex races out of the soundstage and jumps into her car parked nearby. The gunmen emerge from the stage and spot her just as she gets the car started. She peels out as a hail of gunfire just misses her windshield. Exterior opposite side of the soundstage. Jason has just gotten his squibs refitted. He's facing the opposite direction so he doesn't see Alex's car whiz away in the background. Interior soundstage. Jason walks into the soundstage followed by the effects crew.
Alex?
Of course, she's nowhere to be found. While he looks around, one of the effects guys fingers a bullet hole in the set wall. He presses against it, and a flattened bullet falls out. He thinks for a moment, then shakes his head. Couldn't be. Cut to interior Egyptian theater night. A passing filmgoer reveals Natalie and Pete. Seated near the aisle, they share a giant tub of popcorn. The movie hasn't started yet, but there's a slideshow of various anime heroes and villains.
Thanks for giving me a second chance. I swear, I'm really not fake.
He shrugs it off.
How can I not deny any woman who's seen all 23 Lords of the Wind and Power?
There's a dozen women out there who fit that description.
She's right.
Honestly, there's a looks competent as well.
Really?
You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen this close up.
How can she not be flattered by that? She would say something back, but the moment has gotten so electrified that each little glance just brings on more goofy and loveness. The only solution is to leave.
Ladies' room. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
I'll be here.
Interior ladies' room night. A wee bit smitten, Natalie enters as the last woman leaves. We hear just the drip, drip, drip of a faucet and the Muzak version of Power Station's Some Like It Hot. Natalie in a stall. Natalie shuts the door behind herself, then sets to work putting down a tissue paper seat cover. Sweeping across the floor, we look under stall doors to find a pair of black men's boots stepping down from inside. Natalie's not alone. In her stall, Natalie is about to hoist her skirt when she stops. Her spidey senses are tingling. A door latch clicks open. We tilt up to see a well-dressed man. He's at least 6'3". He stops at Natalie's stall door, drawing his gun. A beat. Then he kicks the door open, revealing an empty stall. The automatic toilet flushes itself. The man takes a half step in, confused. Suddenly, the door swings back, smashing into his right hand. He drops the gun, looking up to see Natalie, who is perched atop the stall walls. She pushed the door with her foot. Grabbing an overhead pipe, she performs an acrobatic swing, landing both feet on the guy's head. He falls into the next row of stalls. Natalie reaches for the gun. Anyway, but the man grabs her ankles. He pulls her back across the tile floor, flipping her over. That just makes it easier for her to kick him where it counts. Bye. With the scissors lock around his neck, Natalie is pulled up while the man falls. She lands a knee on his windpipe.
Who do you work for?
He tries to pull her off. She leans in harder.
Speak now or never again.
Jacket pocket. Jacket.
Yup. Suspicious, she digs inside his coat to pull out a leather billfold, flips it open to reveal an ID that reads...
National Security Agency? Wait, you're with the NSA?
I've been following you. I didn't know which side you were on. This is bigger than you think.
Yeah, 'cause you're Batman. Interior movie theater night. The anime classic is playing. Pete keeps looking back towards the door. He's been ditched again. Just when he's about to give up hope, Natalie is there.
I'm so sorry, but I have to go. I can't explain. This is my cell number. Please call me tomorrow. Please. I'm sorry.
With that, she goes. A beat, then she comes back. Kisses him once. Hard. Then goes for real. Cut to exterior Hollywood Hills night. Dylan and Knox walk hand in hand up a quaint woodsy path behind Knox's home. We can hear music drifting up from the hill in front of them.
Where's the music coming from?
You'll see. Just a little bit further.
He helps her up a steep part of the path as she comes over the crest of a hill.
Oh, wow.
Dylan's POV, the hill behind Knox's house has a magnificent view right into the Hollywood Bowl. Yes! The music is a symphony playing something very romantic.
That's amazing.
Yup. They stand there together just listening to the music, Knox watching her reaction closely.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Maybe.
How much do you know about Charlie?
Dylan seems surprised by this question.
I just find it strange that you work for a man you've never met.
I mean, I don't know what he looks like, but I feel like I know him. We all do.
And none of you actually have any clue who he really is?
No.
And you've never been curious to find out?
I mean, of course, but believe me, it's impossible. I've tried. Let's not talk about Charlie, okay? Or work.
She smiles at him, motioning for them to go back up to Knox's house.
In fact, let's not talk at all.
Brown chicken, brown cow. Wipe 2, interior Knox's house night. Dylan and Knox are asleep in his bed. Again. Brown chicken, brown cow when the doorbell chimes. Dylan bolts upright. She slips out of bed, peers out the window. Vivian Wu is waiting by the front door.
Eric, it's Vivian.
Hmm? I wonder what she's here for.
Do you want me to tell her to come back, or?
Oh, no. I better deal. You go back to bed.
Knox pulls on a robe, goes downstairs. Stay on Dylan as she pulls on her clothes. Her cell phone rings. She grabs it.
Hello? Hello? Natalie, is that you?
Yes. Hey, sorry. Service is so shit. I'm Tim. Dylan, we were set up. Vivian Wu is not who she says she is at all. She's a former assassin and an all-around bitch.
No. Oh, shit! Natalie, she's here!
What?
I'm at Knox's. She just showed up.
Exterior freeway night. Driving her own highly excellent car, Natalie has it floored. Intercut.
I'm 10 minutes away. Wait, what?
I can't do that. Call Alex and meet me here.
Dylan.
But Dylan's already hung up. Cursing her partner, Natalie races the car even harder. Interior Knox's living room night. Knox is sitting at the coffee table signing papers. Vivian, sitting across from him, has her cell phone open. They are both surprised to see Dylan walk into the room.
I can see you take your bodyguarding services seriously. Still, I worry that no one is watching the door.
Oh, I'm watching it. In fact, I just called for backup.
From her bag, Vivian pulls a silver 9mm.
All the same, I'm concerned about Mr. Knox's safety.
Although Knox is clueless, it's clear the message Vivian is sending to Dylan. She's in control here. Vivian sets the Glock on the table in easy reach.
Vivian just came over to run through some numbers for the IPO.
Please, take a seat. I'm almost finished.
With a knowing glance at Dylan, she goes back to her phone call. No alternative, Dylan takes a seat beside Knox. Both face Vivian, whose hand is very near the gun. Dylan looks at Knox as he reads through his papers. He has no idea there's anything wrong.
Really? How disappointing.
Vivian gestures to the abandoned Scrabble game on the table. Why not play?
Not much for games.
Pity.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I must have not heard you. Sorry, Gur. As Knox flips pages in the report, Dylan casually begins pushing Scrabble letters around. Nothing serious, but she's managed to spell enemy. She gets Knox's attention, looks to the word, up to Vivian. Knox follows her intention, but doesn't seem to believe it. While Vivian continues to talk on the phone, Knox sets his report down, pushes around some letters of his own. The words finally come out as, I know. Close on Dylan. What does that mean? What? Vivian snaps her phone shut.
Bad news. The other angels are still alive. Good news. Everything else is proceeding apace.
Dylan stands up. What the hell is going on? Vivian draws the gun on her. Knox moves over towards Vivian's side.
Sorry, Dylan. I knew this moment would come sooner or later. I was just hoping for later.
A long beat. Dylan trying to wrap her head around this.
All this time, we thought Red Star was behind this, but it was you. You faked your kidnapping.
Knox taps his nose. She's got it.
Why?
Gain your trust and get your help. I want you to know my personal attraction to you was sincere and unrelated complication.
Well, in that case, I feel a lot better about you being a lying pole smoker.
Dylan looks like she's about to leap forward and tear Knox's throat out. Vivian gestures for Dylan to keep stepping back.
Can't believe I trusted you.
Yeah, why not? Trust Charlie and you never met him.
Dylan crosses the sill out onto the balcony.
Believe me, there's a lot of him that you don't know. And I'm not going to be an idiot and stand here talking about we can just be useful. And I kill you. They say in death, all life's questions are answered. You let me know?
Yes! How right he is, because as soon as Vivian squeezes the trigger, Dylan drops to the floor, then rolls. Blam! The bullet misses Dylan and slams into the bulletproof window, causing a spiderweb crack to spread. Dylan sees her opportunity and heads right for the window while Vivian pumps off shots. As she comes to the window, Dylan jumps up in the air and does a flying kick, hitting right at the spot where the bullet impacted. Smash! The bulletproof glass shatters outward, and Dylan flies out the window onto the ledge.
Wow. Never seen you do something like that.
Oh, shut up.
Cut to exterior balcony night. Dylan looks over the edge of the balcony. The drop-off is incredibly steep. The house is built on stilts, and the fall looks like it would kill her, but she doesn't have much choice. Knox and Vivian come running out onto the balcony just in time to see Dylan jump. They rush to the edge, look down into a forbidding thicket of trees.
She can't have survived. It's too far. Still, I should probably check.
Knox shakes his head.
I got more important things to do. You want pancakes?
Two of them head. Oh, yeah. The two of them head back inside. As they do, we hold on the railing, then slowly start to drift down to the underside of the balcony. Dylan has attached her belt to the bottom of the railing and is hanging in the rafters. As she pulls herself back up, wipe to exterior airport night. A black sedan pulls onto the tarmac. Knox and Vivian Wu emerge and then hustle into a waiting private plane. Interior Angels Detective Agency. Natalie and Dylan and Alex nurse their wounds and compare notes.
I can't believe Knox tried to kill me. I mean, I've been lied to, I've been cheated on, but no guy has ever tried to shoot me before. I'm gonna get him for that.
He played us all from the very start. It was all just so he could get us to tap into Red Star. He couldn't figure out a way to do it himself.
Who knew that we are actually tapping into the main servers for the National Security Agency?
And now, thanks to us, he has had hours to download whatever top secret information he wants. For God knows what reason.
The Angels take a beat to let their indignation grow.
Wait a minute. We installed the transmitter, yeah? But we never gave him the receiver.
Wait, what?
The laptop was the only way to access the transmitter. And we gave the laptop to...
They look at each other.
Bosley!
And on that note, deep breath, Jen. Exterior beachfront compound, Florida coastline day. We push in over the water to reveal the massive complex. Half villa, half castle. Built into the green hills, it's flanked by oversized windmills. Exterior staircase day. Armed guards, as if they were necessary, make sure no one goes up or down a staircase that leads up into the tower where their dangerous prisoner is being held. Interior compound tower day. Bosley's cell, as such, is a round room. Bosley flits about in a panic. He's hardly touched the gourmet food on his tray, except for the pudding. He loves pudding. Jump cut 2. Still a Twitter. Bosley flips through the 500 channels on his big screen TV. He watches a few moments of E! Jump cut 2. As the thin man takes the tray away, Bosley suddenly attacks him with the silverware. With a single hand to Bosley's forehead, the thin man holds him at arm's length. Harmless. He takes the weapons away. Jump cut 2. Bosley whistles to a bright red songbird who has landed on the windowsill. Oh my god, Snow White realness. The bird whistles back. Bosley thinks they're having a conversation. Bosley is going a little bit insane. Jump cut 2. In his spacious bathroom, Bosley is sitting on the toilet rocking as he makes spaceman noises. We hear a plop. You're a rocket man. We hear a plop in the water and then a bleep bleep. Curious, he stands up and looks in the bowl. He's surprised by what he sees. You pooped out the transmitter, didn't you? Cut to Interior Townsend Agency day. Alex is on the phone frantically dialing numbers.
Come on, Bosley. Answer. I've tried all his numbers and paged him 5 times because pagers exist. No answer.
I don't even want to think what I'm thinking right now.
Don't. He's alive. He's got to be. What is that?
There's a very faint voice coming from Bosley's desk drawer. Dylan walks around the desk, yanks it open.
Angels! Angels, can you hear me?
Dylan grabs the radio receiver from the drawer, holds him up. Bosley's voice gets louder.
I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if this thing's even working.
The Angels crowd around Dylan and the receiver. It seems impossible. Exterior compound tower day. Close on, a satellite mini dish mounted to the roof. We crane down to look in a tower window where Bosley is hunched over the TV. Interior compound tower day. On the top of the TV, a wire runs from the satellite feed to the tiny radio that Bosley swallowed at the spa. It's worked its way through his system.
I know you can't answer, but I really hope you can hear this.
Exterior ruins of Townsend Agency Day. The Angels still can't believe they're hearing his voice.
Can we trace him?
Not off a boosted signal. We'd have to be within 20 miles.
Come on, Bosley. Tell us where you are.
Interior compound tower day.
I don't know where I am, really. I'm in a round room. The walls are white. Well, not white, more of a cream or an eggshell. Vanilla. Yeah, I'm going to say vanilla.
Intercut, this isn't helping.
I can see the ocean.
Bingo.
Dylan finds a globe amid the wreckage, wipes off the soot.
I don't know which ocean. I was blindfolded the whole time. We were flying. It must have been 3 or 4 hours, maybe more.
With her fingers, Dylan figures out how far he could have flown, estimates the circumference.
He could be anywhere in North America.
The bird Bosley was whistling to lands on the TV, looks at the transmitter, curious, sings its song.
Whatever it is, they have really good pudding.
Natalie holds up a finger. Stop.
What pudding?
The bird sings its song again. Natalie smiles.
Hear that? That's a blue-spotted
Egret.
They only live in one place.
Your imagination.
The music revs up as we cut to exterior villa courtyard. The helicopter touches down inside the villa gates. Knox and Vivian emerge. Interior compound day. Knox and Vivian walk into a fully Mac'd computer room where the Thin Man is supervising a techie as he taps away at Bosley's laptop.
Being evil's fun. Well,
All right, got off at the source.
God damn it!
Not before we retrieved the information you want.
Oh, the Thin Man pulls a piece of paper out of a printer, hands them to Knox.
National Security Agency secret file. A man knows Charlie Townsend.
Knox smiles, takes the printout.
Finally. How about Bosley? Did we get the information we wanted?
Once we drugged him, he sang like a bird.
The Thin Man hands Knox another printout.
Miami area. Preparations have been made?
Yes.
Excellent.
We moved tonight
Where is Bosley?
in the tower. Where? Wait till you gave the word.
Well, no time like the present.
The Thin Man nods. Interior Knox compound day. The Thin Man cocks his gun as he heads to the tower to do away with Bosley. Then,
Sir, you should take a look at this.
the henchman leads Thin Man into security room, a room lined with monitors that survey the courtyard. Henchman points to one in the corner.
See here? Look at the timer on the camera.
It's not moving. Oh. This is the oldest one in the book. Bunch up camera feed.
Another camera angle comes up, this also a view of the empty courtyard.
Now, they have left.
The henchman does what he's told, and on the monitor, we see Dylan, dressed in a black catsuit. As she rewires a security camera, she glances around, making sure no one sees her.
The old re-loop the video. And look, she's not even carrying a gun. What is this, amateur hour?
Cut to exterior courtyard day. Dylan sneaks her way through the courtyard, doing an admirable job of trying to stick to the walls. As she comes around the corner,
Excuse me, I think you're trespassing.
she whips around to see the Thin Man standing right behind her. She instantly swings at him. He blocks it. She's about to swing again when 5 guns get cocked against her temple. She's surrounded by guards. Now, the Thin Man and his boys lead Dylan into the house.
No offense, but storming the castle plans go. This one sucked.
Oh, yeah? And I suppose you could do better.
Yeah, sure as hell good.
Oh, right.
How about an underwater or egg gliding over the main tower? There's a million good ways in if you just do how to do your homework.
Dylan glares at him, and as she does, we move in close on Dylan's funky belt buckle. There's a tiny camera concealed there. Exterior outside the compound day. I didn't know it was like Fortnite dance move time. Natalie and Alex hustle around a 3-inch monitor, getting live video from Dylan's camera.
You heard the man.
Nice work, Dill.
They move into action. Exterior second story veranda. Day. Why is there an extra H at the end of veranda? Anyway, sorry. Things I think about. Dylan is led inside by the thin man. Knox is waiting for her.
Present for you, sir.
Dylan, how nice. Welcome to my Florida home. Not as tasteful as the one in LA, but much more private.
She shrugs off the goons. Enough already on the veranda.
So tell me, Knox, what's the brilliant plan? You got to sell a list of our foreign spies to the highest bidder, blackmail the president.
First plan is too complicated. Second is virtually impossible. Besides, I already have all the money I ever need, and my motivation is much simpler. Revenge.
Revenge. Against who?
You know what? Ask your boss. Not in touch of Gabby Moon right now. I got a score to settle.
He flipped shut a suitcase filled with C5 explosive, the same stuff we saw Pascal selling in the opening scene.
Seems like you're going a bit overboard.
Nah, just leaving myself plenty of margin for error. Bye, Dylan.
With that, he walks out of the room. The thin man signals to the henchmen. Two of them force Dylan to sit in one of the wooden deck chairs. Then, with the thick packing tape, they begin binding her arms to the arms of the chair. As they do...
I don't know why you bother. I've already won.
That's
Every moment I sit here is a moment I'm using to figure out how to take you down. In fact, this statement, the one I'm making right here, is just me stalling for time while I decide which one of you goons I'm going to flatten first. Psst. It's going to be the guy behind me.
Whoops, my bad. The thin man can't help but be amused. After all, there are 6 guards and 1 blonde, who is now taped to a chair.
really.
By the time you guys are firing, I'll be about 100. I'll be about 180 on my reverse inverted 360, which will land me on Fat Boy here as promised. He'll take the chair seat in the chin. Now, I'm warning both of you. I'm going to get you to shoot each other, all right? I know. Sort of cliche as it sounds, all right? And then last, you two guys. Hell, I'll make something up.
The thin man smirks oh so confidently.
And what will you do with me?
You won't even be here. I mean, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but you should have killed me by now because I already know that your people are onto my people, which means at any moment now, you're going to be called out to go and deal with...
Suddenly the door flies open and...
We have intruders.
With a glare to Dylan, the thin man follows him out. Interior underwater grotto. Alex, dressed in a sexy bikini, emerges from the water and instantly takes out 2 guards. Scoozy. Exterior small garden day. Natalie hang glides into a courtyard, knocking out 2 henchmen as she does. Alex catches up with her as Natalie pulls out a small scanner.
Bosley's close.
You find him, I'll get Dylan.
Natalie heads left, Alex goes right. Interior tower office day. Racing up the stairs, Natalie enters a round room with open windows on all sides. A gentle breeze stirs the curtains. There's an amazing 360-degree view from hills to ocean. According to her scanner, Bosley should be here, but there's no one.
Bosley! Bosley, can you hear me?
Interior Bosley's round room day. Hearing her voice, the feral Bosley looks up.
Natalie, is that you?
Oh, well, interior tower office day, she hears him. She keeps yelling, and so does he, until they both realize that his room is above hers.
How How do I get up to you?
There's the staircase. Look for a switch.
She begins frantically checking the desk, the shelves, everything. Her cell phone rings. She answers it.
Hello? Pete, hi! How are you?
Interior Biltmore Hotel day. On break, Pete is talking on a payphone.
Yeah, I'm good. I just, you said you wanted me to call?
Interior Tower office day. Natalie keeps checking the shelves, looking for a secret switch.
I do. I mean, thank you for calling.
Intercut.
I mean, I'm not an insecure person or anything, and I've really enjoyed our very brief time that we've spent together.
Two goons race up the stairs into the office. Natalie turns to face them.
I'm just wondering if it's something I said or did that's making this whole thing weird between us.
The goons approach.
Hold on a sec.
Hitting mute, Natalie kicks the chair behind her and dives under the desk. She comes up on the other side with a surge suppressor, electric cords attached. She backhands it into the goons who jerk and twitch as electricity shoots through their bodies.
One more sec.
She remutes. With a roundhouse kick, she flattens one of the goons, whacks the other with a cell phone. The first goon charges at her, but she sidesteps at the last moment, leaving Goon 1 to hit Goon 2. Both men topple through the open window, falling. Yikes.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Listen, is this, bad time?
No, not at all.
She starts searching again for the switch.
You just sound, like, distracted.
You know, work this week has just been really busy. It's been hard to focus.
Behind Natalie, Vivian Wu reaches the top of the stairs. She moves stealthily. Natalie has no idea she's there.
The thing is I'm not a full-time waitress. I should have been more upfront about that. It's just,
At the last moment, Natalie catches a moving reflection in a shiny trophy. Turns to find Vivian Wu swinging an antique chair at her head. She ducks. The chair shatters the display case. Scrambling to get away, Natalie drops the phone.
Natalie, what was that?
Everything's fine. Promise.
Hate to disagree.
Vivian upends the desk, nearly crushing Natalie. Vivian jumps on top, ready to kick the shit out of our angel. As we probably suspected, Vivian Wu is one hell of a martial artist. Fortunately, so is Natalie. In their first series of blows, Vivian seems to have the upper hand, but Natalie rallies hard. Vivian surprises her with a floor-sweeping kick, knocking her down. Vivian grabs the phone off the floor.
Is this the famous Charlie?
No. It's, Pete.
Vivian looks at the phone. Who the fuck cares? She throws the phone out the open window. Uh-oh. Getting up, Natalie stares her down. Incredulity building to rage.
You bitch. I like that guy.
Mocking, Vivian wipes away a tear. Natalie lets forth a typhoon of fury of full-out Mortal Kombat. Vivian is thrown back against the bookcase where she knocks over a candlestick. That's the trigger for the bookcases to begin sinking into the floor. Circling around the room, each set of shelves drops to a different level, forming steps that lead to the upstairs room. As Natalie and Vivian continue to fight, Bosley sticks his head down from above, watching the brawl. Natalie is kicking ass.
Do you have any idea how difficult it is to find a quality man in Los Angeles?
Amen, sister. She slams Vivian into the wall, grabs her again, hands around her head.
To be honest,
Vivian suddenly leans forward and kisses her right on the lips.
I don't care.
Natalie is surprised for a moment, which gives Vivian the chance to swing at her. She misses.
I can handle villainy. I can even handle supervillainy, but what you just did was wrong.
Yeah, because we don't do that. Consent is sexy. Anyway, she headbutts Vivian, knocking her out cold. She throws a limp body onto the floor. Then a beat. Then Natalie looks up to see Bosley.
Hi, Buzz!
He waves. Exterior veranda day. From below, we hear security whistles. The compound has been breached. Dylan looks at the 6 armed guards surrounding her.
Here we go.
And now she does exactly what she's told the thin man she'd do. She pitches forward, ducking her head so the chair's back crashes into the railing, tearing it off. She stands.
Okay, that part worked.
The guards fire, but Dylan has already launched herself from the railing into that backflip, which lands her on the head of Fat Boy, flattening him bad and smashing the rest of the chair into kindling. She grabs the wooden seat and whips it up, catching bullets from guard number 3 before flinging it like a frisbee at guard number 2, nailing him right on the chin. Quickly, she stands again between guards 3 and 4.
Okay. No, guys. I warned you. This is where you shoot each other.
The two men scoff, disbelieving. Then Dylan does a head fake. Both guards panic and fire, but Dylan drops, leaving each man a clear shot at the other. Both gape, both fall. Just guards 5 and 6 left. Dylan's chair arms are still taped to her forearms.
Okay. Here's where we improvise.
In a whirl, she overhead chops guard 5, drives her right arm into his shoulder while swinging her left arm into the back of guard number 6's head. A few more blows, both men fall. Now Dylan drops into a second chair, half exhausted, half amused with herself. As one brief beat to take it all in, then Bosley steps onto the veranda. See, now they spelled it right. Sees Dylan sitting in the chair. From his point of view, it looks like Dylan, whose arms are still strapped to the arms of the first chair, is taped to the chair she now sits in.
Oh my god, let me help you.
Bosley hurries over, freeing her. Amused, Dylan lets him. Natalie steps out from inside, pausing to kick one guard who is starting to revive. Cut to exterior Knox compound day. Knox, carrying the briefcase bomb, gets into his waiting helicopter, followed closely by the thin man.
Let's go!
The helicopter quickly ascends just as...
Damn!
The 3 angels run into the courtyard.
Don't worry, we'll get him.
Hey, you don't understand. He's got a pound of C5 in his briefcase.
The question is, where's he headed?
Miami.
The 3 angels turn to see Bosley, huffing and puffing his way into the courtyard.
The man Knox is trying to kill has 2 general admission tickets to the Duke Maryland game at Miami Arena. He's going to blow up the arena and kill his target.
Not that I don't believe you, but how exactly do you know all of this?
Because, Angels, I was the one who purchased those tickets.
Oh, Bosley, you hate sports. Why would you? You didn't buy them for yourself.
You bought them for...
Bosley lowers his head. Suddenly, all the angels understand.
Charlie! Oh, no.
Ooh, they race out the courtyard in hot pursuit. Cut to interior Miami day. Racing across the water, we find thong-clad beach babes moving to a Latin beat. Mr. 305. Art Deco buildings flank sun-kissed streets. The people are sexy, the daiquiris are strong, and every night's a fiesta. Welcome to Miami. Seriously, where's the Pitbull song? Anyway, running down the street towards Miami Arena, the 3 angels pass 3 other women rollerblading by. Jill Monroe, Sabrina Duncan, and Kelly Garrett. Nothing is said, but a cool moment just totally happened. Cut to interior long hallway. Later, the 3 angels are running down a very long hallway. Their voices are the only sound that echoes off these walls, although there is a faint humming that grows louder as they approach 2 metal fire doors.
What do you think he looks like?
60, tall, well-built.
I always saw him as younger.
Definitely with black hair.
No, silver hair and tan.
He's not George Hamilton.
He's outside a lot.
Well, we'll know him when we see him, that's for sure.
If we see him.
How hard can it be to spot Charlie?
They slam into the doors and we cut to interior Miami Arena night. We reverse angle to reveal the inside of Miami Arena. The first thing that hits us is the wall of sound. The noise made by 20,000 people in a basketball-induced frenzy. The next thing that hits us is the sheer magnitude of the job facing the angels. Hard to spot, the crowd is one enormous teeming mass of brightly colored humanity.
Oh, shit.
The game is in progress. Duke versus North Carolina, and it's a barn burner. A 1-point game with 6 minutes to go. Ball player pulls up and swishes a 3-pointer. Duke by 2. The crowd goes apeshit. By the mezzanine, the angels huddle, yelling over the deafening noises of the crowd.
Okay, we have to split up.
I'll take the luxury boxes.
I'll take the mezzanine.
I got the floor.
They split up. Dylan leads the charge down the lodge section? Loge? I don't know. Anyway, blowing past the security woman who yells after her. You know, I'm pulling a Travis. It's fine. Interior arena floor night. Behind the rim, college player number 2 pulls down a brick, slams home the rebound. The crowd roars. Interior luxury boxes. Jason Gibbons, famous movie star and North Carolina alumnus, pumps his fist into the air. His luxury box is loaded with fellow Tar Heels and a nameless studio executive. Oh, nameless studio executives. Multiple. He repeatedly high-fives a Hollywood type in sunglasses and Armani.
Yes. Yes.
You sure you're not going to Fire Island later, Travis? When suddenly the door to the luxury box is flung open.
Charlie? Charles Townsend.
Jason whips around and locks eyes with Alex.
Alex?
Jason? Shit.
Realizing she has no time to explain and that Charlie isn't in here, she turns and leaves.
Alex, hey, it's me.
Mario?
Jesus. While everyone watches confused, Jason pushes his way through the box and follows Alex into the hall. Cut to interior arena mezzanine. Dylan races past rows of seats, pissing off plenty of fans in the process.
Charlie? Charlie? Charlie!
Flashes fire in the stands. Statisticians scribble at their monitors. Natalie runs behind them, scanning the crowd. Whip pans from one man to another, stopping on a likely candidate.
Charlie?
Who?
The scoreboard clock counts down. 60, 59, 58. Interior luxury boxes night. Alex bursts in. It's a crowd of 15 cocktail-drinking businessmen.
Charles Townsend. Anybody? Charles Townsend.
She ducks back into the hallway. Interior hallway continuous. Alex walks out into the hallway, frustrated. Then, miraculously, she spots him. Knocks. He walks out of one of the luxury boxes, holding a large metal briefcase. He heads for the elevator. Alex immediately goes to intercept him, but...
Don't move.
It's the Thin Man standing behind her with gun at her back.
You move. Say it. That's perfect. You got it.
Not a good time to use the word perforate. Anyway, Knox glances back at the Thin Man, nods to him. Then he gets in the elevator. The Thin Man starts edging Alex towards some emergency exit doors, gun still in her back. Alex is trying to think of an escape quickly. She knows that the second he gets her out of this public space, he's gonna shoot her. The door gets closer and closer.
Alex? Jesus, what's going on?
Oh my god, why are you suddenly like faux Italian? The Thin Man and Alex turn around to face Jason, who is sweaty and exasperated from his Mario impersonation and chasing her.
Jason. Hi.
The Thin Man digs the gun deeper into her back.
Can I talk to you later?
No, you can talk to me now. I want to know what the hell is going on. First, you just... No explanation.
I'm sorry.
But you're with some other guy. I get it.
Hey, movie star, do yourself a favor. Get lost.
Jason double takes. He's not used to someone talking to him like that.
Let me guess. You must be Charlie.
Jason, please.
No, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this asshole telling you what you can and can't do.
And then, with no warning, he hauls off and punches the Thin Man. Now, Jason's just an actor, not an ass-kicking super detective, so his punch isn't all that great. In fact, it leaves Jason shaking his hand in pain. Yeah, the Thin Man, a trickle of blood running from his lip, smiles.
That was stupid.
Yep. First, he pops Jason right in the jaw. Jason stumbles backward, dazed. Then he reaches for his gun. They both reach for the gun, in the process, loosening his grip on Alex.
Jason, get down.
Alex spins out of the Thin Man's grasp and does a full roundhouse kick, knocking the gun out of the Thin Man's hands. The Thin Man immediately responds, throwing 2 quick punches, which Alex expertly blocks and then follows with a hitch kick to the chin. Jason, dazed and confused, thinks he must be hallucinating.
What the hell is going on?
What's going on is a world-class ass-kicking, courtesy of his girlfriend. While the action star watches in amazement, Alex unloads an arsenal of badass kung fu moves that would make Jet Li green with envy. The Thin Man doesn't stand a chance. A flying side kick sends him stumbling backwards into the stairwell. We follow the fight into a flight of stairs. Continuous. Down to the first landing. The thin man, battered and bruised, reaches down to his ankle holster to get his spare gun, but Alex is too fast for him. She stamps on his hand, then drops a knee to his throat.
Right now, just by leaning forward, I could crush your windpipe. You die a slow and painful death. You don't want that, do you?
Thin man shakes his head no.
Where's the bomb? When's it going off?
She presses harder. Interior hallway. Jason slams out into the stairwell, looking for Alex. He finds her on her walkie-talkie, the thin man handcuffed to the staircase.
Hey, Jason. Give me 1 second.
Jason nods. Sure. We go to another triptych, all three angels on their cell phones in different parts of the arena.
Angels, Knox planted the bomb in the basement, and it's time to go off when the game clock hits 0. Nat?
Natalie, what was that?
I'm speaking.
Gotcha, Nat.
Give us the dead. Nope.
Up a little bit.
Roger that, Alex. I'll stop the clock.
I'll look for the bomb.
Alex turns back to Jason. He's clearly having a difficult time processing everything he's just seen.
I lied to you, Jason. I'm not a secretary.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that wasn't Charlie.
Right.
I'm actually here to stop a madman from killing everyone in this building. Would it be okay if we talked later?
Go save the world, honey. I'll be waiting for you.
Alex smiles and runs off. Interior arena. Natalie stares up at the clock. 30, 29. The whistle blows. Time out! Woo, that was close, but it'll start up again any second. She has to keep it stopped. But how? She glances to the sidelines and gets an idea. On the court, music starts from overhead, the respective team's cheerleaders coming out for one last routine. As they kick into gear, Natalie comes out with them dressed as a Duke cheerleader. She follows along with the dancers, a bit timid at first, then more confident as she gets into it. Interior arena basement beneath the court. Dylan races through the basement looking for the briefcase. Then she spots it, hooked into some wires that snake up into ceiling above. Dylan approaches it cautiously. She slowly opens the top.
All right, Dylan, all we have to do is figure out which wire to cut.
Reveal the bomb. There are about 50 different wires in every color in the Crayola box.
Shit.
Interior courtside. Alex, still searching for Charlie, notices something strange.
You're kidding me.
Natalie is fully transformed on the court, from wallflower to full-out cheerleader. Yes, so good, Nicole. It's not that she's as good as the other cheerleaders. She's better. On the court, the song ends. The cheerleaders vacate the court, but Natalie keeps dancing her heart out. She has 18,000 fans watching her, and she's totally in the moment. But there's another agenda as well.
And timeout is over, but one cheerleader doesn't seem to notice. Officials can't start the clock again while she is on the court.
Well, thank you, courtside announcer. Cut to Interior Miami Arena continuous. Dylan has picked 2 wires.
Choose agenda. This has got to be it.
She prepares to snip them with her wire cutters when
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
she spins to see Knox standing behind her.
See, if you snip any of those wires, the bomb will go up.
It's going to blow anyway once the clock gets to 0.
Who told you that? My idiotic henchman? You think I tell him anything that's confidential?
He holds up a small triggering device. It's the same one we saw Pascal try to sell in the opening scene.
This is what triggers the bomb. If you kindly step away, I'll refrain from killing both of us.
Realizing she has no choice, Dylan stands up and backs away.
You know, in different circumstances, Dylan, I think you and I could have worked out. We have a lot in common.
Yeah, I fall for assholes, and you are one.
Knox laughs.
Good one. Well, I must be going. You know, if you like your body parts attached to your torso, I suggest you do the same.
Knox turns to go, but the other angels are blocking his way.
Give it up, Knox. You're surrounded.
Give us the detonator.
No.
Stumbling backwards, Knox holds it up high.
I'll blow this building sky high, I swear.
Don't do it. It's me you want, not all the innocent people.
Everyone turns as one to a figure emerging from the shadows.
Charlie?
That's right, it's Charlie. Finally, after all these years, we get a look at him, and boy, is it disappointing. He's not what we expected. Short, portly, dressed in a We're Number One t-shirt. The Angels are absolutely floored by Charlie's appearance.
Charlie?
Charlie ignores their stares and addresses Knox directly.
Your father was a double agent, Eric. Yes, I revealed him. But he was killed by his own people before we could even throw him in jail. He was my friend.
It's still your fault, you arrogant prick. You still killed my father.
Maybe. Maybe I did. But why should you kill all these people? If you hate me so much, just shoot me. Just shoot me, Eric.
Charlie spreads his arms, leaving Knox a plenty-wide target. It's a horribly tense moment. The Angels are frozen, watching Knox decide Charlie's fate. Knox is sweating, debating his choices. Can he really do this? Charlie's not the glamorous, smug asshole he'd imagined. He starts lowering his gun.
Okay. You're right. I'll just kill you.
Blam! It all happens in the blink of an eye. Knox fires, hitting Charlie in the chest. Natalie leaps out and tackles Knox. Alex dives and grabs the detonator before it has a chance to go off. Dylan runs to Charlie's side.
Charlie, no! No!
She holds him in her arms as the other Angels gather around their fallen leader. He gasps for air.
He's trying to say something.
Then Dylan notices something weird. He's not gasping for air. There's something stuck in his mouth. With a great hacking cough, he spits it out. It's a voice chip, like the one Dylan used in the opening scene.
Oh, it tasted terrible.
The voice isn't Charlie's. Dylan reaches down and rips off Charlie's mask, revealing...
Leslie! Are you okay?
I think so.
He pulls back the padding from the suit, revealing a small wound where the bullet grazed his side.
Hurts, but it looks like it'll heal.
Dylan laughs. Alex just pats that Mr. Clean style bald head of his.
Hey, wait a second. If Bosley's here, where's Charlie?
The Angels all look at each other. No one knows. Exterior center passage day. In gorgeous slow motion, the three Angels walk side by side with a calm reassurance. Fireballs exploding behind them. They won. As music rises, the Angels' triptych descends, then peels away to reveal exterior gorgeous beach day. The Angels kick back on the white sands, tropical drinks in hand. Bosley is there as well, with a grass hat and zinc on his sniffer. Charlie is on the cellular speakerphone.
Great work, Angels. Well, you'll be happy to know that you've received another presidential commendation.
The Angels and Bosley clink glasses.
Enjoy your vacation, Angels.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
They toast the speakerphone.
Alex, Natalie, I know you've been putting in some long hours in this case, so I thought you might enjoy a chance to catch up with some old friends.
Natalie and Alex turn to see, apparently Peter, but Pete and Jason, walking across the beach towards them. Each is carrying a drink of his own. They wave. Damn, those men look good. Alex and Natalie share a smile.
Any chance you'll be joining us, Charlie?
Cut to a sunny deck, where in Charlie's point of view, we can see part of his reflection in the window. Not enough to see his face, but we get some sense of the man. He turns away, begins walking, steps down onto the sand.
I'd love to, Angels, but I have some precious treasures to watch over.
With that, he hangs up. We stay in his POV walking across the beach, and it's not just any beach. To the left, we notice Pete and Jason approaching. We're on the Rampage! Looking right, we see the backs of the Angels and Bosley. They have no idea that Charlie is walking right behind them. A beat, then Dylan looks back. She looks directly at Charlie, tracking as we move past. Does she somehow recognize it's Charlie? From her reaction, it's not clear. A beat, then we reverse angle, not POV. Dylan looks back forward again. Did she just see Charlie? Her smile tells us she thinks she did. She raises a toast.
To Charlie.
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 They knock glasses. Right at the moment we should probably fade out, Bosley spills his icy drink in his lap.
Oh no.
Bosley.
His eyes go wide. The Angels and me just have to laugh. I know, Jesus. We freeze frame. And then cut to black. The end.
Yay.
He went, oh.
Well, this movie gave us all a happy ending. That's for damn sure. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you for watching. Everybody did a wonderful job. Have a wonderful night.